So we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yah, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Get this John chapter 5 and verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. And they are they which testify. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. But another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another and seek not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there is one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you had to believe Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote it. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Let's come over here to Proverbs chapter 10, verse 15. That's the starting point out of Proverbs 10 for this day. Of course, last night we dealt with the fact in the arena and area of how the beast is not and yet is. He is not Elohim, yet he will profess himself to be. Faking a resurrection, well, not faking a resurrection, but coming back from the dead, yet not being flesh and bones as Yahushua was when he came from the dead, because he will be flesh and blood, because he still will be a man. Don't let no one deceive you in that regard and in that matter, because that's exactly what's going to occur. But now we have to rotate into something else. Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 15. It says, the rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. So what did any of y'all can be able to gather from what he's stating right there in that particular passage? Matter of fact, you can come to Proverbs 18:11. It says pretty much the same thing. And maybe Proverbs 18:11 is a little better off in what is stated. After that, Psalms 52 and 4. Says the rich man's wealth is a strong city and a high wall in his own conceit. So it says a rich man's wealth is a strong city and his high wall is his own conceit. Of course, Proverbs 10 and 15 says the rich man's wealth is a strong city and the destruction of the poor is their poverty. Now, while you're pondering on that, let's come over here to Psalms 52. We'll pick it up at verse 1, though. Psalms 52. Why boast you yourself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of Elohim endure continually. Your tongue divides mischiefs like a sharp razor working deceitfully. How can we frame that with some things that we looked at last evening? Your tongue divides mischiefs like a sharp razor working deceitfully.
You said like the beast, he's going to be teaching deceit.
Yeah, he's going to be telling lies. But then also when you look at his tongue is devising mischiefs. So his tongue is devising the blasphemies or the things that he wants individuals to do. And it's working deceitfully. Because remember, he said he's going to deceive many and he's going to use deceit as a means to destroy. He said, you love evil more than good and lying rather than to speak righteousness, Selah. So again, we looked at that as how the tongue of the righteous is choice silver. So when we look at this here, right? What do I want to say back here? Hold this right here, right? And go to Proverbs chapter 8. And from Proverbs 8, we go to John chapter 12. Proverbs 8 and 4. It says, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. O you simple, understand wisdom. O you fools, be of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them. So remember, it just said that this individual in Psalms 52 likes to tell lies than to speak righteousness. Now, we just established last night and the week before, you know what I'm saying, with Baal and Nebo. Again, what does Nebo mean? prophet. So not only is Baal telling lies, but remember that prophet's going to be telling lies. And that's what it was I wanted to get last night. I don't remember. It was Deuteronomy 13. You know what I'm saying? Since I said that, let's take a look at, before we go to John 12, let's take a look at Isaiah 46. Isaiah 46 and 1. And I'm going to slide down a little bit more on it, just because it's still apropos and what we're looking at. It said, Baal and Nebo stoop. Their idols were upon the beasts and upon the cattle. Your carriages were heavy loaded. They are a burden to the weary beast. They stoop, they bow down. Together they could not deliver the burden, but themselves are gone into captivity. So I understand something. The beast, Baal and Nebo, the beast, the two beasts, whether you say the false prophet and the son of perdition, they can't bow down, they can't move the burden. Listen what he tell you though. Did he say they themselves are gone into captivity or into exile because Yahuwah removes them? Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Yasharal, which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb. So this takes you back to the aspect of when you look at when the Mashal were hit in his side. You know what I'm saying? The blood come out. You all were born by him from the belly, from the inward part. That's what you got to understand. He said, even to your old age, I am he. Even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made and I will bear. Even I will carry and will deliver you. Well, let's look at an instance where we can justify what he's sitting back telling you that you need to hearken unto him. Revelation chapter 12. 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, you Shamahim, and you that dwell in them, destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he know he have but a short time. See, this is one of the reasons why you see, as it says in Daniel 12, that there be a time of trouble, and that this man only has such great wrath, because Satan doesn't have the authority to do anything except in that 3.5-year period. You should know that from the book of Job. When he said the stuff he said about Job, what did Yahuwah say? He said, you have leave to do this. So for that, excuse me, for that 3.5-year period, Satan has leave. He hasn't had any leave, period. Yeah, he may walk him through the earth, but he's looking to who he may deceive. But for that short period of time that he get let loose, he got leave to do whatever it is he want to do. He's never had leave to do whatever he wants to do. But for that 3.5 years, he letting this man proclaim that he God. You know what I'm talking about? So he definitely has leave to do whatever it is that he wants to do. You know, we give people give Satan way too much credit. You know what I'm saying? He's not really that powerful. He's not even really that creative. But his level of deceit is top notch only because he deceives through the wantonness and lust of your eyes and your heart. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff you clamoring for and things of that nature. Shalom. That's what he uses. You know, we didn't talk about this before. Your feelings don't matter. Your opinions don't matter. It's the word of Elohim that matters. Everything else is grossly irrelevant in comparison to that particular matter. Nevertheless, and when the serpent saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted. And when the serpent saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman, which brought forth the man-child. So notice this here. It says when Satan was cast into the earth, then he persecuted the woman. Now let me ask yourself something. Let's ask yourself this question. Where can you read where any nation just came through and would persecute Yasharal on the strength? Anytime we've had, for the most part, when we had dealings with other nations, it's because Yahuwah delivered us into their hand. There's one nation that came and persecuted you on the strength. Who know who them people is? Amalek came and persecuted you on the strength. for no reason whatsoever. Moab did it, but Moab did it because they were scared of their land. So that's why he hired Balaam. But Amalek came and persecuted you on the strength. Now he say the serpent is coming to persecute the woman who brought forth the man child. So why is the woman doing it? It's because of the man child. See, in Matthew 24, shalom, man. In Matthew 24, what did Yahushua say you would be persecuted for? For his name's sake. So what is the beast what is the serpent, I should say, persecuting the woman for? Because of the man child. That's what he's doing it for. Because remember, Baal and Nebo, they can't carry the captivity. Yahuwah said in Isaiah 46 that I carried you from the belly and I'll carry you and deliver you. He said, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and a times and a half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the serpent cast out of his mouth. And the serpent was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Now, when he says the remnant of her seed, who can recall scripturally? Not from Matthew on back, but from Genesis to Malachi, who is the seed and where does it state whose seed it is and how they become his seed? No, from Genesis to Malachi, because he's making the statement that the serpent was wroth with the woman because of the man child. So now he said he's going to make war with the remnant of her seed who keep the commandments of Elohim and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. So where could you look at from Genesis to Malachi to prove who the seed belongs to? Because clearly the woman can't have seed on her own. So who's the father of said seed and how is that brought about? I mean, you could say that because that's what you see in here, but who's the father of that seed? How did he become the father of that seed? How did he make these children?
I don't know. I'm thinking like when Isaiah was talking about the remnant of Israel. I guess that one would say what it's wrong.
Did you say the covenant? What are you talking about in Isaiah?
I think it's Isaiah 10.
Let's look at Isaiah 59 and 20. And after that, as a matter of fact, Isaiah 53 first. Isaiah 53 and 8. And then Isaiah 59 and 20. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? So who's going to declare his generation? Who would declare his generation? Well, let's look at those words for declare and generation. When you have declare here, you have sayak. It means to put forth, to commune, to speak, to talk, to sing. Generation should have already been, and that's doar, and that's those living during a period or characterized by quality, condition, or class of men. So who's going to speak to the quality of men that belong to this individual? Well, we just read it last night. What did Yahushua said that if you, matter of fact, hold on. I'm trying to remember what that said. Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. I just read that the other day. Go to Matthew chapter 11. And it's still going to tie into what we read in Revelation 12 as well. Matthew 11 and 1. And it came to pass when Yahushua made an end of commanding his 12 disciples, he departed thence to teach and preach in their cities. Now, when John heard in the prison the works of Hamashiach, he sent 2 of his disciples and said unto him, Are you he that should come, or do we look for another? Yahushua answered and said unto them, Go and show John again those things which you do hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk, and the lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear, and the dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them. Baruch is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. Now, when we look at that, what was that? Isaiah 53. When you're looking at declaring his generation, what did we read in Luke chapter 12 that he stated he would do in regards to declaring someone? He said that he would declare individuals and he would deny individuals based off of what? In Luke 12, he stated that if you deny him before men, he will deny you in heaven. And if you confess him before men, he will confess you in heaven. So when you see him talking about declare who shall declare his generation, he will declare his generation. Yahushua himself will declare his generation. Nevertheless, back to Isaiah 53 and 8. He was taken from prison and from judgment. Who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. That goes back to the other thing that we read about. There's no unrighteousness in his lips, and how the beast gonna speak evil, but Yahushua will not do that. That's why we read Proverbs 8. He said, Yet it pleased Yahuwah to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When he shall make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahuwah shall prosper in his hand. So now we saying he'll see that Yahushua is the one who is the father of that seed. How he able to see his seed or to produce this seed? Because he died and rose again, which goes back to what we were looking at with Isaac last night. That's how he's able to see his seed, because of his death and his resurrection. Go back to Isaiah 59 and 20, and now that come what you just mentioned, each that come in with his covenant, because that's when the covenant was made. But you could get it in Isaiah 59 and 17. Isaiah 59 and 17. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate and a helmet of salvation upon his head. He put on garments of vengeance for clothing and was clad with zeal as a cloak, according to their deeds. Accordingly, he will repay fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands will he repay recompense. When he say to the islands, who he say he gonna pay? The Gentiles. Now, why would he have to repay the Gentiles? According to the script, or according to the Gospels, excuse me. We can deal with the Gentiles, but not today. That's why you got to repay them. Because what they've been in the land doing. Shoot, 100 times worse than what you was in there doing.
That's like the same thing he was saying. He showed that Abraham,
To the iniquity of the Amorites will come to the full. You know what I'm saying? Once their iniquity come to the full, I'm coming through. That's why he say that's why Satan is coming with so much wrath, because he know he only got a short time before his iniquity come to the full. A lot of people don't see it that way. I told y'all this before, man. A lot of things that come down to how things gonna go down to the end is influenced by the Christian church, even amongst Hebrews, if they're not of the One West persuasion. Because the RFID chip comes from Christian people, whether dudes want to admit it or not. That's where that come from. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I mean, shoot, whatever that white man's name was, he made a killing off the Left Behind series. A stone cold killing. Movies, books. You know what I mean? They were showing that junk in prison. Watch Left Behind. Nobody want to watch this crap. You know what I'm saying? They used to have big showings to show you Passion of the Christ. Just showing you the programming, because the programming at the end of the day is to convince you that the Most High is white. That's it. You was talking about this other day, you know, and I learned this in high school. You know, in the grand scheme of things, white people are the minority on the earth by a supreme margin. You know what I'm saying? So for such a small people to have that much of a stranglehold on the world, it can only be a Yahuwah to allow them to do so. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's the main reason you have to push that white thing.
Yeah, but you know, he never said Esau.
They don't understand like how it's only one way here to let these rulers try to get control of the earth that they got from.
But I don't know even why they would see, because y'all never said nothing. Yeah, but my thing of looking at it is y'all never said Esau would rule the whole world. Never said that. You know what I'm saying? That was never even, like he never said, like he said, I give the kingdoms of men, I give them to who I want to give them to. Yeah, that's what they say. They say a lot of things. The niggas also say they also say that nuclear missiles gonna blow up the whole earth. And you know what, doing that, that's just taking it out. So Yahushua ain't gonna come back and do nothing. Niggas just gonna shoot nukes at each other. Okay. So people just go, so what they hiding under the rocks for? You know what I'm saying? You don't need no man-made devices to burn up the earth. Nigga talking about some nuclear missiles. Them niggas believe that, John, too. It's the nukes, brother. It's the nukes. You know what I'm saying? And you know the crazy part is World War III is not discussed in the text. World War III is discussed in the book Morals and Dogma. And are y'all familiar with the book Morals and Dogma? Morals and Dogma was written by a 33rd degree Freemason by the name of Albert Pike. And in that book, he quote unquote, yeah, it is in Second Ezra. He quote unquote predicted every world conflict that has ever occurred. But you can't necessarily say that he predicted anything when you know that the people you're running with are engineering the events. It's easy for you to predict something when you're privy to the individuals who are engineering the conflicts. And he predicted in his book, after World War III, everything stops. Nothing keeps going after that. There won't be no World War III because y'all won't allow no World War III, because he already know if I allow these people to, they will wipe everyone out. You know what I'm saying? You know, white people have no discretion when it comes to conflict in that fashion, according to their history. If you're a group of people and you had 100 years war, then we know that you have no problem eradicating human existence. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna leave that where it's at because that's a true story. But no, I'm just saying that based off their history and conflict and warfare, they don't know when to stop. You know what I'm saying? You know, they pushed the Inquisition for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I know that borderline, you know, Spaniards are called dark white people. That's what they call Greeks and people like that, and Italians. They call it dark whites. They feel like they're not the same. I'm just sitting here telling you. I mean, but at the end of the day, hey, man, they discriminate against their own kind too.
I mean, they know they was intermediate. They not a pure.
Yeah, they not. Yeah, indeed. They know they wasn't in the caves. You know what I'm talking about? Throwing rocks at each other. Like when you look at how they try to denote history, they try to show you that caveman. Why you think they pushed the caveman so hard? Because that's what they were doing. But I told you before, they have no culture. They was in caves. That's why they show you the man beating a woman with the club and dragging her on. That's what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were doing. And I ain't saying that to be funny. I'm just saying that that's historically accurate. That's what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? If you study history in depthly, they will show you that the nations who they came across is the one who cultured them and taught them. That's why they have elements of everyone's culture. See, they really don't have a culture at all. They don't have one. Absolutely. That's why, you know, the white man can't be Esau. Esau has a culture. Esau has a culture.
What?
Yeah, that sound good. No, I'm saying, I'm not saying, I'm not coming at you. I'm saying that sounds good until we ask him who his daddy was. Isaac. Who was his granddaddy? Abraham. He had a culture. Just because he chose to shun his culture does not change the fact that he has a culture. And then Esau had, if we read the text, Esau had his own gods who he served, and he had his own way of living. The quote unquote Caucasian has no culture. And I knew this before the word. He has no culture. There's nothing that he has created. Everything that he has taken from another culture. Every element of their quote unquote religious system is based out of Egypt and Babylon. Because all the Romans did was just take from the Greeks. And then all quote unquote Western civilization did, which was borrowing from Egypt. So they have no culture. Every nation of people has a culture. We just don't know what our culture is. Truly, do your research. This is not to be disparaging to white people. This is just facts. They have no culture. They have rules or law. Like America's legal system is based off of Hammurabi's code. He was a Babylonian. You know what I'm saying? If you do your research and study history, they have no culture. Yeah, they are the sons of Japhet, but that's neither here nor there. It's just the fact of showing you that they couldn't be who brothers believe they are because they have no culture. They have no origins. You can't say that, see, they like to hang up in the mountains. Esau didn't live in cave, he wasn't birthed in a cave, and he didn't start living in caves. And since he went into his land, he started building stuff in the rocks because that was a mountainous region where he lived at. Not just because I want to hang out in caves. Them folks was in caves, chilling, doing whatever it is that they do. And that's why they push that. You know what I mean? But they know their culture because they show it to you.
Yeah, you ever seen the movie The Cruise?
I don't think so.
Yeah, the cartoon. I just thought about that. When they tell they learn it. Caves scared to come out, and then they like went out and adventure and got enlightened. So
Yeah, that's why when you deal with the 5%ers, they were like, we civilized the poison animal eaters. Because everybody knows. See, it's a part of deception to continue white supremacy. And not white supremacy in the fact that white people are better, but so that they can continue to have a stranglehold on the world because they know that they're the minority of people. So you have to use numerous psychological tactics in order to maintain your power. That's it. They're just trying to maintain their power. So I have to do, this is no different when a man is with a woman and he's trying to break her down mentally and emotionally to rule over her because he doesn't have the leadership qualities to do that on the strength of that. So he has to use psychological ploys to destroy her, to make her feel inferior in order for her to follow him. That's what they do. It's just that simple. And if you put yourselves if you actually study anything that has to deal with courtship, when I say courtship, dealing with ruling in a king's court, that's always what went down. There was psychological ploys and factions and things of this nature that individuals did. That's what's really in the 48 Laws of Power. If you pay attention to it and read it, it's about individuals in high political ranks who were doing what they needed to do to maintain their position. You know what I'm saying? Because if you in the king's court, it's not, oh, you don't get to be the leader anymore. You died. So these people trying to keep their life alive. You know what I'm saying? When you read about Louis XIV, he wasn't acting like that just to act like that. If I mess up, a nigga's going to kill me. I don't want to die. We already died when we're 30. I at least want to get to 33, 35, 40 if I'm lucky. You know what I'm saying? But people don't do that because you have preconceived notions and things that you want to pop in your head instead of paying attention to human behavior and the psychological movements of human beings of what they do in order to survive. You know what I'm saying? They're doing what they're doing in order to survive. Because they don't want to, they know if they're the minority, people whom they've crossed may very well wipe them out.
they go back to when was his name? The first child, he started the war that put the king in debt so he could take his money.
So he could take his money.
That was the first part.
So that nobody won't kill me. Remember what he said about us? What Yahuwah said about us? He said, you're not the greatest of the people. You're the fewest among the people. So when you're the fewest, that leaves you exposed to people who are greater than you because they have the ability to consume you. So we didn't, like the brothers was asking about this earlier, that is it selling your soul to join the military? every culture has a military. In our book, you will call the mighty that had an army. You know what I'm saying? But you're fighting to protect the interest of the culture that you represent. So when you remove your emotion, that doesn't say that these people are not wicked for the stuff they're doing. But if you remove your emotional machinations from the situation, then you can understand why they do some of the things that they do. They're trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? And when you remove your, then you can use that against them for your own benefit. You can never win reacting to your opponent in emotional fashion. You're always going to lose. Yeah, he definitely was. Louis XIV definitely was a genius. He said, yes, he did. He created a power center, degraded everyone else, and the world revolved around himself. But that's what he had to do for his survival. It's not necessarily that this person was so, like Louis XIV, you look at it, right? He's born into becoming a king. He didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I want to be king. I'm thrust in this position. When we went back and went through the Chronicles of Kings, you've seen that some of the people in our culture became kings at 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Very, very young. So when you look at that, you're trying to survive because somebody wants your position. So you have to come up with means in order to protect yourself to ensure your survival. Some people who become kings are diabolical and are very evil. But some people do that, and some people become evil out of necessity for survival. A lot of the stuff you see dudes do out here on these streets is for survival. So the environment that they're in, it dictates that they conduct themselves in this fashion or they'll be swallowed whole. It's no different in prison. You think dudes wouldn't want to sit back and do a bid and just let me do my time and go home? But the environment necessitates that you may have to do certain things for survival. Most people have never been put in a I have to survive type of mind state to understand that frame of thinking and moving, because that's a different mindset. That's when self-preservation come in, which is quote unquote the first law of nature. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the adversaries. What about the KJV? I'm not understanding your question. What about King James? King James really isn't relevant. King James didn't really die, have to protect himself. He was a black dude. Just like I heard somebody say something about the Dark Ages, and he misspoke on what that was. They just call it the Dark Ages because those Europeans don't want to acknowledge the fact that you were ruling over there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to acknowledge that. But the thing is, we didn't talk about it before. They showed you that in school when they said the Renaissance. They showed you in school, we whitewashed all of history. That's why we call it the Renaissance, the rebirth. We knew, I done told you this before. If you ain't looked it up, that's on you. Europe is named after a black woman. This is a known fact. That is a black woman who they named it after. Majority of the kings and queens in Europe from probably like maybe 800 AD all the way up to the 1700s were black. And this is known. You know what I'm saying? This is not a great mystery. It just takes being more concerned with other than what's on Love and Hip Hop and any of these quote unquote original series to see how these people are causing you to have an inferiority complex so they can maintain their power. That's when you'll start. Once you understand these things, that's when you'll learn to be self-validated and not seek their validation. As the brother in the video will be talking to all them niggas talking about they woke, all that mean I didn't want a hug from a white man. I just want to be accepted because that's all it really means. A bunch of niggas ranting and raving because they want their adversary to love them. That's it. You know what I'm saying? If you know, regardless if they were wicked or not, if you know the history of individuals whose bloodline you come from, then you could care less about being validated by people who are using psychological tricks in order to maintain their power base. Then you would understand their movements and say, you know what, I get it. I understand now. That was very evil on your part, but I get it. You think these people got military installations all across the earth just because they want to be there? They have to watch what's going on in the Middle East. That's not their people. They have to watch what's going on in Southeast Asia. That's not their people. We're a minority. You know what I'm saying? So we have to keep on what's going on. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man, you got to take your emotions out of stuff, man. Your emotions have you looking like a straight up fool, a clown, if you will. This is why these people don't respect us and laugh at us. because you're emotional people and they know exactly what to do. And we didn't talk. It's too many things they do to get you going. They said Black Lives Matter. Niggas jumped up, grabbed t-shirts. I can't breathe. You went and grabbed them. They locked the cameraman up. They ain't locked the police up. Well, stupid nigga, if you knew how the actual law system worked, the police job is not what you think it is. The police job is not to protect and serve. The job is to enforce corporate rules and policies. They don't work for the people. They work for the corporation. They're not going to lock up their corporate officers. If you knew that, then you would understand why they don't go to jail. Nigga, you are a debt slave. So it doesn't matter if we kill you. We recoup the bread. We're not going to kill the officer for a slave. We're going to let the slave die. Because I'm going to get money from him dying and off him being a corporate officer. And then I'm going to make more money when he get a pension and when he died. Because he's worth more money to me alive than you are. So it doesn't matter to me. But see, you don't know that, so you get in your feelings. You know what I'm saying? And to a certain extent, I understand. You know, they shooting our people down in the street. And the worst part is, that still don't get your attention to turn to your God. It still don't get your attention. You want to run to the white man and say, stop shooting us. That's like running to a rapist saying, stop raping me, and he got you tied up in the basement. Yeah, he's really going to stop.
You gotta watch
I will. I've been looking at the Insecure John. The John's hilarious.
So what you just said is,
Well, it doesn't make sense. And remember now, and all I'm saying is the words say the same thing. He said we sought after a people that can't save us. That's all we've ever done. You know what I mean? Running to somebody, help me, please, help me, please. And that's what they're gonna do when the beasts come. Help me, son. I heard you's a good man. You like colored folk. You know, you give us jobs and give us, you know what I'm saying, eats and things of that nature, nice clothes. Help me, son. You know what I'm saying? And that was gonna happen. Because at the end of the day, most of our people feel like that they are inferior to the Caucasian. So you want their validation. That's why niggas, that's why, especially our women in this modern time, that's why they boast about them degrees. Because that's validation that white folks accept you. You know what I'm saying? You need that. That's why they boast about a corporate job. Because that's validation from Mr. Charlie. There's nothing wrong if you get a degree or get a corporate job, but when you feel like that validates your existence, you really want to be validated by your oppressor. You know what I'm saying? When you should be validated by yourself. Most importantly, you should be validated by your creator, if you happen to know who that is. But since most of our people don't, and we don't have a culture, that's why you want to be validated by the culture of the people who are ruling over you. And that's why you judge your life according to their standards and their goals. See, you can't judge your life based off of people who robbed, steal, and murdered, and raped, and pillaged to get what they have. You can't judge yourself according to that standard. Y'all know the stories. Y'all know they took them Indian women and used their titties as tobacco pouches. You know they gave them smallpox in them blankets. You know they wrote treaties and did not keep them to take land that wasn't theirs. Y'all know about the manifest. You know about all of that. So how can you compare yourself in any shape, form, or fashion to people who built everything they had off of blood and deceit? Do you know what I'm saying? Huh? And call it business. Call it the American way. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that, you can't judge yourself off of that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got happy. Jay-Z a billionaire. Where your Jay-Z prize at, nigga? What that nigga did to get them $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what he did, but you know why? Because hip-hop's your culture, so you feel like that defines us as a people. That's why you was excited. This nigga could have did all manner of wickedness to get the money. The book say the treasures of wickedness don't profit. You don't know what he did to get that money. You hear speculations. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know what he did. But you ain't got to know what he did. You know what he rhymed. So you know full well he got it by the way of wickedness. So you can't be excited. And then on top of that, it shows how stupid we is. You excited because the nigga got monopoly money. Still got monopoly. This nigga ain't got no money. I can have $1 billion in this room right now, and it ain't worth no more than that napkin on that table right there. Because if you ain't got gold and silver, you don't have money. So in reality, Jay-Z ain't got nothing. He just got a bunch of debt currency that they can wipe out and start another currency. He can have absolutely nothing tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That understanding the financial system and not getting caught up in the stuff that they put into you for you to chase after a vision and dream that does not exist. You know what I'm saying? When you understand that, you know what? I'm doing my labor, passing my time because I'm a stranger here, pilgrim, till I get to go home. And then I'm out. If I can grab a few nice things on the way, so be it. But I'm not thoroughly invested in the system that you have created for the means to keep me a slave, to always be consuming your trinkets while you are actually hoarding up all the real wealth in the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Niggas killing themselves over monopoly money. This junk is worthless, man. Look at the things that it say right on the top. Look at what it say right on the top. Right on the top, this junk say Federal Reserve note. Now we done talked about this before. Y'all know what a note is, because what niggas say? I gotta pay my what note? And what in my mortgage note? Well, what does a note denote? Debt. Debt. So this is showing you that this is a debt note, that it's really not worth anything. It's only worth something because you give it power to have worth. If the people stop fooling with it, the system would collapse. Indeed, the system would collapse, but we don't know. But nevertheless, Isaiah 59, man, 19. He says, so shall they fear the name of Yahuwah from the west, and his esteem from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. Now, what did we just read in Revelation 12, how he said the enemy would come with what? A flood, right? He said that the rising of the sun. So pause, Malachi chapter 4. I'm getting something, because we talking about that great whore of Babylon, and I'm going to get to it too. I got time. Indeed, we stress about debt, and debt exists in your currency. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't never hear anything. You always hear stuff about what's the word they use? Discharging. Because you can never pay off a debt. You can't pay off a debt with debt currency. There's no debt that you can pay off in America at all. Because they can't pay off their own debt. And then also we know how ignorant people are. Man, if it ain't enough money, why don't they print more? You, my friend, are an uninformed individual. And you ought to be kicked in your face. And that should tell you, if you have enough sense, if you just pause and listen to yourself, why they just don't print more money, that should tell you right there it's worthless. If you have to ask why they don't print more, that should tell you why it's worthless. Like when we was in elementary school, y'all was in school and they would give you the bags of money that they shredded up. Do y'all remember why they told you they shredded it up? To keep the circulation down, because the more money they put into circulation is what caused inflation. So they would take money out of circulation to cause deflation. That's how you know the money ain't worth nothing. Yeah. So what? That's what they was robbing. The money they were finna shred.
Yeah.
So
it's all money they just been collecting from random places they just burning.
Hey, what? Oh, Malachi chapter 4. And they showing you that it's worth nothing. And all I'm saying is for you to have the proper perspective of what's going on around you, so that all your energy and focus will go on your Elohim. Your Elohim could give you hundreds of millions of dollars of debt currency if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But all what's gonna happen is you're gonna lose your mind. You know what I'm saying? For real though, because some people, you can't have no money, you ain't gonna know what to do with it. We used to talk about that before the word. Money's not the issue. It's the mentality that you have. And all money do is give you more options to do things. You know what I mean? So nigga knowing, that's why the man in Proverbs 30 say, give me food convenient for me. Because he already know I get too much money. I'm gonna be like, who, where, when, how? Don't have none, I'm robbing niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know, I got homeboys I grew up with. I know if they got too much money, they probably would have had AIDS, because they'd have been tricking left and right. You know what I'm saying? Trying to hit everything they can hit because they can. I have the ability to do so. Somebody would have died from a drug overdose, because now whatever drugs I want to buy, I can buy them. And when you got that much money, one thing that's not going to happen, nobody's ever going to tell you no. Because everybody want to be on your side. So you can buy them something, take them somewhere, or give them something. You know what I'm saying? And everybody want all that bread. Most people don't want all that success. You ain't going to have the mental fortitude to deal with everything that come along with it. Why you think a lot of them people who in the celebrity realm are miserable? Not the people who in the business realm who got money, they not miserable because they understand certain things. And also one thing you notice about really, really rich people, they don't show off their wealth. They don't even want you to know they have it. They don't even want you to know they have it. Not because of the fact of It's really more so to stamp down jealousy. They won't show off what they got. Only niggas do that because you want validation. You got low self-esteem. Niggas walking around here with 4-5 chains on. Probably ain't half of them were real if they ain't rented. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga got all them watches on. Look at me. And then niggas wonder why they broke. This is the same thing they just said Adrian Peterson is broke. And people like, I wonder how they broke. Well, number one, all niggas here is he got $100 million contract. You can go ahead and chop half of that off. Because Uncle Sam is going to get half. And then these niggas is not watching over their money. They trusting who? Mr. Charlie or a nigga they know to watch their money. The next thing you know, he look up one day and it's gone. Yeah, but I mean, the agent don't really get that much. Agent only gets maybe 3% at the most. A real estate agent get more money off a transaction than an agent do. It's just they bigger transactions with an agent. You know, 3% off of. Let's put it. What they just gave Damian Lillard? $221 million. 3% off $221 million is a lot, but he ain't getting that up front. He getting that over the course of the deal. Or any other deals he facilitates, that agent gets a percent. That's why a lot of them have. Yeah, that's why a lot of agents try to have a lot of clients. You know what I'm saying? Because that junk keep that coming in because you negotiating certain deals from them. That's why niggas said Jay-Z pimping all them niggas for Mr. Charlie.
He just signed 14 new girls.
Yeah. Starting him a phone. He got his own. He said, Mr. Charlie. He said, Mr. Charlie can do it. I can do it too. You know what I mean? He got a lot of them. I don't think KD over there. KD got him a Jewish man. No, he got a Jewish man. Kyrie Irving over there. You got Saquon Barkley over there. Danny Green over there. You got minuscule players don't nobody even know. He got boxers. Almost every artist signed for him. Make it look like he doing something for him. Like he say, y'all won't do no business with me. Niggas say, yeah, you probably gonna punch Member Bud harder than Mr. Charlie was.
No, because I seen him. It was see what the dude was like. He was friends. He did it. He was a record producer, and he was like, did he ask him to sign like his contract? And he was like, he read through the contract, like, nigga, you crazy? He was like, what should I have to try?
Oh yeah, Puffy's known for that.
I had to try.
Because the lock said he was a paper gangster. Nigga say he whoop you with that paperwork. But you know niggas don't read. All you gotta tell a nigga is I give you $5 million, and nigga like this here. Yeah. I just heard Nas say that he asked Prince to do a song with him. Prince say you own your masters. He was like, nah. He said when you own your masters, come holler at me. And walked off. You know what I'm saying? Because nigga, you ain't really in no control. That's why some people feel like them white folks really killed or sacrificed Nipsey Hussle for the first place, because that's what he was walking around here telling, I own all my music. They don't want you to own all your music. The same way I was telling y'all that the R. Kelly thing was a sham because they were using his likeness and his music on the show. You can't do that unless you pay him. You know what I'm saying? You can't put Bump and Grind on there and think that, I'm going to sue you, nigga. That means before they made that documentary, they had to hit R. Kelly on the phone and say, can we use your music in your likeness? He's like, yeah, cut the check. But certain the songs that they used, he owned. And produced them. So when you seen that documentary and they were playing his music in those music videos, they had to call him and ask for permission. That means he got paid off a documentary that was exposing him. They played you for a fool.
Sometimes they deal when they keep their masters, and like you say with the royalties, like even though you don't own your masters, like if they do play your stuff, you can get a percentage of what they will get instead of getting the whole thing. And the next one ain't got no money to take that.
Yeah, and they did, but I'm just showing how they play the game. You gotta know how they play the game, and that's come down to educating yourself on stuff other than nonsense. It's a lot of things in life you can learn. You know what I mean? But you have to sit back and look. I told you that when it happened. I said they playing that nigga music on that junk. That junk flop. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna post that in the video. I want to tell everybody.
Oh yeah. Because that nigga is a fool. That nigga Ringo's a fool. That nigga Ringo is a fool. That nigga said in one video, that nigga said that whole vagina got more customers than McDonald's. I said, for this nigga, wow. And McDonald's say we over billions sold. Man, where I was going at, man. Malachi 4. Yeah, that boy, that you just gotta, it's just like it, man. Malachi 4 and 1. You gotta have understanding, man. You have understanding on certain stuff. Life, your perspective on life changes, and your concerns and your desires will change. Especially when you meld that with the word to give you better perspective. Now you know, this is why he say don't love the world and don't be concerned with it. Because that stuff ain't got nothing to do with us. You're just in the world, but you're not of it. And you navigate around it in a righteous fashion. For behold, the day come that shall burn as an oven. And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. The day that comes shall burn them up, saith Yahuwah of hosts. It shall leave neither root nor branch. So I mean, he burned the whole tree down. He say, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and you shall grow forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And you shall tread down the wicked, and there shall be ashes of the soles of your feet. And the day that I shall do this, saith Yahuwah of hosts. He let you know what it is. I've been told you that years ago. When I first read what he was going to do, I said, I'm good. I ain't worried about it. I can't wait for Esau Kingdom to be. Man, get your cornball behind up out of here. The man said he going to do it, nigga, it's done. You know what I'm saying? Whether I see it with my own two eyes or not, my nigga is done. I ain't worried about that. I'm thoroughly unconcerned. All I got to do is focus on saving my soul. He done already took that on the back end. It ain't my job to tear these kingdoms down. It was never my job. It was always his job. I'm going to let him do it because he could do it way better than I could ever dream of. Isaiah 59 again. You know what I mean? I ain't worried. See, that's what I mean. When you know your Elohim and you trust him, you ain't worried about none of that type of stuff. I already know what he going to do. See, niggas used to dealing with liars, so you think y'all gonna lie to you. He looking at you like, I ain't a man that I should lie, nigga. Who would you take me for? Lie to you for what? Who is you? You know why people lie, right? Because they scared out of fear. Who would fear? So he fear a man he made to lie to him. Okay. I understand you now. You're insane. Verse 19 again, so they shall fear the name of Yahuwah from the west, and his esteem from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Ruach of Yahuwah shall lift up a standard against him. That's a banner, an ensign. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion unto them that turn from transgression. And Jacob saith Yahuwah, as for me, this is my covenant with them, saith Yahuwah, my Ruach that is upon you, and my words which I put in your mouth shall not depart out of your mouth, nor out of the mouth of your seed, nor out of the mouth of your seed, from henceforth, saith Yahuwah, from henceforth and forever. So when we look at this woman's seed in that Revelation 12, who he coming after, this is Yahushua birthing you. Because remember what we read in Isaiah 46. That's why I asked you that there. He said, I born you from what? The belly. I carried you from the womb. So he's coming to attack. That's why he put in there those who keep the commandments of Elohim and the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. See, you not his seed if you ain't under. See, remember we told you in Romans 9, all Yasharal is not of Yasharal. He said the children of the flesh are not counted as the seed, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. So if you're not of the promise, then you're not of the seed, which means you weren't born of Elohim. Look, Mike. What's up, cuz? Mike looking like he dazed and confused. What I know, I had Psalms 52, right? I think we good in Revelation 12. Let's go back to Psalm 52. I still need to get John 12, but I'm going to get it in a second. Verse 3. As the Psalms 52 and 3, then we go to John 12 and 44. Abigail and Lizzie, it's not playtime. Don't be rude. Thank you, Abigail and Lizzie. Put your phone up, Lizzie. It's not time to play with your phone. You love evil more than good and lying rather than to speak righteousness, say lie. So let's look at what John 12 and 44 says. Y'all already know. Most of y'all know niggas who love to tell lies. Niggas just love to sit in your face and shoot you a lie. Nigga just lie for no reason. Nigga just lie just to lie. Shoot, you got niggas whole lives a lie. 12 and 44. That's what we were just talking about this before. And like I told you before, you know, women tell they lies real good. Believe whole lie scenarios in their head too. That don't even be existing. You know what I'm saying? That's why niggas get frustrated and be like, man, where you going? You're not listening to me because you're in a deluded world right now. And I don't want to join you. You can say you're in bizarro land. I want to stay here on earth. Straight up and down. That's what I would tell you the other day. Nigga said, I just want to be myself. That nigga was living in a delusion. That nigga was living in 2 delusions, possibly 4. That nigga had 4 different delusions. She had them crafted in her head. You know what I'm saying? You know I ain't lying, because most of y'all had them set out how your life was going to go when you were 5. I'm going to get married at this age. I'm going to have a wedding like this. I'm going to have this many kids. You know what I'm saying? All the nigga worry about is, mama, what's for dinner? Can I go outside and play?
I can say I did.
You know what you want to do. I'm talking about you ain't planned out no wedding in your head.
No, I didn't. That's why when I saw the word, I felt like I had to be.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that the average young girl, and it's pushed and promoted like that. They've been on map their whole life out. Then when their life don't go the way they want it to go, they depressed and they on medication. You know what I'm talking about? Because you wasn't living in reality. I know it. Shoot. A woman will lie to herself in a heartbeat. He a good man. That nigga just bust you upside your head last week. You know what I'm talking about? He said he loved me. That nigga got 4 hoes pregnant at the same time, but I'm his favorite. Straight up, tell themselves a lie. A nigga know a woman a hoe. He just be like, but that booty good though. So I'm gonna stick it out. You know what I'm saying? Nigga don't lie to himself and be like she a good woman. That nigga know she ain't a good woman, but he stick it out. She make good grits. You know what I'm saying? And her fellatio's okay. So I'm staying here. You know, straight up and down. But we done talked about this before. A nigga won't leave his family quicker than a woman will. A woman will slide. The minute a woman feel like she got a better option to replace you, she is out. You know what I'm talking about? A dude will sit there and be miserable for 40 years, and he's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We got these kids, I gotta pay these bills, and I'm here. He ain't out here looking for the next chick to slide on. Oh, I'm leaving you, baby. That's how men operate. A man is not gonna leave as quickly as a man gonna stay.
I mean, I've seen that. I've witnessed that. You know, in my house.
Yeah, he ain't gonna leave. It ain't about staying and cheating. It's not no cheat. You can remove cheating. A nigga will stay and be utterly miserable because and not cheat at all. See, that's the common misconception. All men cheat. Women out here throwing booty out like Halloween candy. You know what I'm talking about? Women throw booty out here way more than the man throw meat out here.
I can rather that.
Most dudes ain't leaving. A man ain't even got to cheat on his wife for her to leave. It ain't fun no more. He don't do this here no more. She done created it, and just what we were talking about the other day, because a woman want options. And then when she find out that she go get out these options, she get left with nothing, looking stupid. She out.
That's so true, though.
She out. You know what I'm saying? But see, the reason y'all feel that way is because of the narrative that women so love it and they stay. But 80% of the divorces is started by the woman. You know what I'm talking about? The whole time.
Even when you feel like it's straight.
You know what I'm talking about? And all you talking about, I'm not happy. Did you ever ask this nigga, was he happy? This nigga ready to shoot himself. He just don't want to traumatize the family. You know what I'm talking about? You wonder why a lot of dudes, alcoholics, don't come home. Can't stand this woman. You know what I'm talking about? But he ain't went nowhere though. He done stayed with Barbara Jean 45 years. Nigga say, man, look here, man. That nigga that died, he look his grandson in the sun. Son, don't be no fool like me, son. What you mean? I can't stand your grandma. What you mean? I can't stand her. She can't cook. She talk too much. Straight up. But he gonna take care of them because a man shows his love by providing and protecting for his family. So he love his family. He ain't going nowhere. He may not like the situation, but this is my responsibility as a man. I'm gonna cater to it. Woman could care less. I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never heard a dude say he left his woman because he wasn't happy. How many women you done seen say they left a nigga because and the nigga wasn't even doing nothing. Nigga wasn't doing nothing but going to work to come home. But she wanted all the attention and focus to be on her. He's boring. But that's what's wrong with your stupid behind. You want excitement. Now you got some excited penis, and this nigga done skeeted and left you alone. Now you want to come back to your nigga. Babe, I still love you. And he like this here, hoe, you violated. You done laid with another nigga. Take that sour coochie somewhere else. Then you shocked. I was just talking to the brother about this here, man. Before we came on here, right? Because it was from looking at that stuff with Insecure. And I'm like, I told him, I said, go ask a lot of older women, they'll tell you the truth. If they ain't married, one, I always believe this here. You find a woman over 35, she ain't married, something wrong with her. You know what I'm talking about? Because the nigga ain't locked you up yet, something wrong with you. Yeah, even if she been married. But get what though? Boy, if a nigga know that's a solid woman, boy, he ain't even let that. Come on here, girl, let go. And he got his stuff together. He know he can do what he's supposed to do. Ain't no dude let no solid woman slide. He ain't letting her slide. Ain't no way. Niggas ain't that dumb because they rare. So nigga like they said, come on, girl, we rolling now. You over 35, you ain't got no husband. Baby, what's wrong with your coochie? You know what I'm talking about? What wrong with you? Nigga ain't locked you up yet? Or you been married before, or you got a string of failed relationship? What's wrong with you? Something wrong with you. Nigga say, I didn't want to hit it, baby. I don't want to be with you. You know what I'm saying? But then you'll get the women and they'll all had a story about the nigga they wanted that was good to them and they messed it up. And then they around here looking for the nigga to replace him and they never found one.
I heard this story one time. My life.
Yeah, you know what I mean? A lot of women don't recognize when they got a good dude. They take it for granted because they think they can get another one.
Oh yeah.
Because they think they can get another one. Good dudes is just as rare out here as a good woman is. And if you got one, you ought to treat them right and hold on to them. Because if you lose them, you're probably not going to find another.
Oh yeah.
They rare. Yeah, it's rare. It's rare on both sides of the equation. You know what I'm saying? Then I already told you this here. The man the prize anyway. The woman's the gift from y'all, but the man is the prize. How is he the prize? Because he got to provide, protect, lead, guide, nurture, administrate. He got to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? She coming in to get his provision, protection, leadership, and guidance. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot different. Because why you think all these people be wanting to sleep with a black man? You think they just want to sleep with a black? They already know you the cream of the genetic crop. All the way around the board. Your mind just ain't right. But we just been taught different. You've been taught to venerate a woman, that woman, this, that, there, and the third. I done seen it too many times when I was a jit. Boy, a woman will slide. I'm not happy. That's why I told y'all love is not a feeling and never to be in love, because that's a feelings change. You love him on Wednesday, you can't stand him on Friday. Then you can't stand him on Friday, you're talking reckless out the mouth and expect him to still be there on Sunday. And he at the bar getting drunk. Why you came home in 3 days? Nigga like this here, have you met you? Because I have. That's why I don't know. John 12:44. And all I'm mentioning this is to get to that whore of Babylon, because that's the type of fornication and things that she has been teaching in the earth. I'm not mentioning this stuff just to be randomly mentioned. It is real life, but it's real life from programming and conditioning in the culture of which you live to teach you how to behave. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to go back to the whore of Babylon. But at the end of the day, like I told you, and we done said it many times before, ancient times, your husband was picked for you. So you were going to learn to love that nigga. You know what I'm saying? You were going to learn to love him. All that there, he doesn't, I need a man with a personality like this. It's, you already know this here. Women got all these long lists of things they want. But guess what? But what you got though? Well, I cook and I got a coochie. All righty then. It's 5-1 of you to us. I think I can find someone who can cook and has a coochie. You're gonna have to do a little better than that. Everybody ain't in jail because black men only 6% of this population anyway.
I'm saying,
Oh, what you referring to?
Well, it's a video I watched about that. It's really 1 to 2, but when you weed out all the people that are crazy or people that are in jail, all the people that are
homosexuals.
Yeah, when you start weeding out everything, then it becomes that number. When it's like, scripturally, I mean, they ain't really quote how many women was had, but Jacob definitely had
more sons than daughters.
Yeah.
He had 11 sons and 1 daughter. 11 sons and 1 daughter. Dinah. They don't even talk about Dinah. No daughters. Abraham definitely didn't have any daughters unless he had some with Keturah that they didn't mention. You know, a lot of times in the script, if a man had a daughter, they didn't even mention her name. Yeah, they didn't even mention her name because they weren't relevant as far as genealogies are concerned. No, I'm just saying for everybody else.
That just makes sense with Adam and Eve. Like they didn't mention it, like you said, because they just weren't like.
Yeah, it's about the men. The women are irrelevant.
I was just talking about how people be like,
how did Cain get a wife? Because they wouldn't mention the daughters anyway in the genealogy. Because the daughters have no role in the genealogy. Specific reason.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But dudes don't think that because they worship women. Like we already know this here, right? Righteous, godly. When I say virtuous, we mean a strong woman is the most beautiful thing on the face of this earth. You know what I'm saying? It's the most beautiful thing on the face of this earth. But every woman out here does not evolve in that lane. The average woman is selfish and feel like the whole world is revolved around her. The man is to cater and serve her every whim. And when he doesn't do it, it's something wrong with him. And then you listening to your bald-headed whole friends who ain't got no sense. You know what I'm talking about? And then you come bring that joint to you. And if you had a solid nigga, he looking at you. You need to go be a dyke and muck dive with your bald-headed whole friends because I'm not on that. That's why when a man be a man, a woman always say, he's mean. He ain't mean. He don't care about what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? The same way what the kids say when you tell them no. You're being mean to me. Because I didn't let you have your way.
Well, because this God is worship that we've been talking about lately, do you think in this culture they'll ever have a female ruler, like a president? Because of God is worship that you said they're trying to push, would they have to go to that?
I mean, they already have females in power positions across the world. They already have. That's already happened. There was a female president in Germany right now, Margaret Thatcher. I mean, that's up to them. It all depends if it serves their political means and ends at that particular time. Or their agenda, I should say. If it serves their agenda, they're going to do it. If it doesn't serve their agenda, they're not going to do it. I don't either, because not at all. And then, I mean, the only woman who could be president in this country would be Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, because niggas stupid. They're going to run out there and vote for both of these bald-headed hoes, and we're not even confident enough if Michelle Obama might even be a man. It's possible, because that nigga got a strong chin. I noticed that on the road. I'm like, well, that nigga got a strong chin, but you know what I'm saying? But I didn't think nothing of it as far as being a man. I'm like, that's a very pronounced chin. But then I like her daughter's got that pronounced chin. So, hey, maybe it's in the family.
I mean, it's really, I don't know. I have people in my family that are full-grown women that have mustaches. That's just what's in my family.
Yeah, it happens. Nigga around here having forest fires, kissing them in the mouth because we both got mustaches.
But they're women. They have kids and they got husbands, but they got.
Oh no, shoot! I grew up with a lady. She had a beard. She had a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, my auntie was too.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't no business.
But she married. She's a woman.
I mean, shoot, if the nigga got a 5 o'clock shadow, she got a 5 o'clock shadow. I mean, it's public record. All you got to do is go see it. At least you won't be shocked when you see it. That's why I told you had a fade. Instead of you walking in, this nigga got a beard. You know what I'm saying? Everybody embarrassed. Yeah, that's what niggas say. A lot of things. Niggas say women who got facial hair have the best vaginal experience. I done heard that before. Niggas say anything.
Let's get laid off Friday after next.
Line up. Like they said, John, said, you got a good girl, I got some clippers. Let me shave it for you. John 12:44. I got clippers. Let me get back on task. John 12:44. Yahushua cried and said, he that believe on me, believe not on me, but on him that sent me. He that see me, see him that sent me. I come a light into the world, that whosoever believe on me should not abide in darkness. If any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not, for I come not to judge the world, but to save the world. He that reject me and receive not my words have one that judge him. The word that I've spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day. For I've not spoken of myself, but Abba which sent me, he gave me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak. And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as Abba said unto me, so I speak. So you already know. Yahuwah said, I'm not a man that I should lie, nor the son of a man that I should repent. If I say it, I'm going to do it. Yahuwah said he don't do nothing but talk righteousness, because he a God of judgment. So we already know from looking at what we looked at last night, the beast telling lies. We don't have to go back over that. Back to Psalm 52. Psalm 52. Psalm 52 and 4. You know what I mean? Like, they give you a little game, like I say, and all this is getting us to get to the whore of Babylon to understand why certain things are propagated in this culture. Because in Eastern, like this here, like say in Saudi Arabia, the women just got the right to drive not too long ago. Like in the Middle East, a woman ain't even really allowed to move along by herself without a male accompaniment. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was to go over there and then come back over here and see how women move around freely versus over there, you would be shocked because they don't allow their women to move around in that fashion because that's how it was in antiquity. A woman just didn't get bandy about by herself. You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen. She was under direct supervision of her father till she was passed to her husband. And the reason for that is to keep whoredom down. Because if you leave a woman to her own devices, as you already know what the text say, whoredom will increase if a woman is allowed to do what she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? I told you, a woman will objectify herself before a man would. Because only a simp nigga gonna tell his old lady, baby, put that outfit on with them titties hanging out. Don't no man want nobody else looking at his woman. But a woman upset like this here, what's wrong with my outfit? What you mean? Your yams out. Your titties out. What you mean what's wrong with it? You trying to oppress me because you look like a slut and you want me to go along with it. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you there's been plenty of arguments with dudes because they like, baby, you need to change your clothes. You just got some women who ain't got no decorum whatsoever that a nigga have all his friends in the house and she want to sit in the middle of all them men. They don't want to put on a risque outfit while she's sitting there with him. You bald-headed slut, you. You know what I'm talking about? And feel like it's something wrong if he tell you to cover up. Go put some clothes on. My friend's coming over here. You know what I mean? You ain't got to put nobody off the top rope. You need to do it like Fred Flintstone did Dino and put her on the porch. Because she ain't got no regard or respect for you. You know what I'm saying? If she can feel comfortable enough of showing her body off while your male compatriots are around, she ain't got no respect for you. You know what I'm saying? And she might be trying to catch one of your niggas. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I was going back to telling you about. That's why I'll tell y'all when that went down with whatever that was, Aisha Curry. Men respect marriage way more than women. Yeah. Way more. Yeah. But she was a whore the whole time. Yeah. That was a game. Because she didn't get a chance to have a whole phase. Because they tell y'all to go have a whole phase, and she done got to that age where that coochie itching, and she feel like her looks are fading, and I need to jump out here, look at my bed. I ain't gonna lie to you. She always looked like a Oompa Loompa to me, and she wasn't never really that attractive in the face. That's just my personal opinion. Everybody had their own taste. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I'm talking about before the churn. I mean, but she was funny before the baby. She always looked like, but she getting close to 30. She around that age where she's noticing her looks are fading. And the average woman ties her desirability into her looks.
I feel like it's more so not even the whole thing, but more so she's tired of pretending. I feel like that's
that too, but she also didn't get a chance to have a whole phase because she got married young. Yeah, and like I told you before, a woman will play a role for 10, 15 years. 10, 15 years. Ain't no man playing no role that long. He exposed himself real fast. I think once that nigga get that booty, play for what? I done got what I wanted. You know what I'm talking about? I'm good to go. I don't care if she stay around or not. But I want to play a role for 20 years. And then she gonna like this here. I'm ready to be myself now. I want to be the bald-headed hoe that I was always born to be. And like this, she right here like this here, hump with it. You know what I'm talking about? And she ready. That's all Babylon been doing. I'm ready now. I'm ready to sample. I'm ready to sample ice cream cones. Ice cream, that's what she like. Psalms 52 and 4. Ain't no lie though. You know it ain't no lie. And the women know it ain't no lie too. But that's just a sad thing that you got that promoted by go have a whole phase instead of valuing your body and keeping your leg closed. Don't let these niggas be jumping up and down in your guts. You know what I'm talking about? Just randomly have sex. And be proud of it too. I know my stuff good. How you know, ho? You been in it? Nigga tell you anything to get some. Nigga say a lot, but she got a lot of kids. She got some good stuff. But niggas say anything. Niggas feel like all stuff. Niggas say, is it warm? It's good. That's how a lot of niggas feel. It can. She be dead. And some niggas like it cold. Straight up. Got some weird people out here, man. Don't act like you don't know. Yeah, I feel you. He said, you love all devouring, something to him for. You love all devouring words, O you deceitful tongue. Elohim likewise shall destroy you my tears into a bottle. Oh, I'm definitely in the wrong spot. Jump, right over there to 57. He said, Elohim shall destroy you forever. He shall take you away and pluck you out of your dwelling place and root you out of the land of the living. What did we read about the beast? What the beast dwelling place going to be at? Right in Jerusalem, sitting on the throne of Elohim, presenting himself to be Elohim, and he going to toss him in the lake and take him out the land of the living. He said, the righteous shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not Elohim his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of Elohim. I trust in your mercy forever and ever. I will praise you forever because you have done it. I will wait on your name, for it is good before your saints. So you understand, the beast put his trust in a lot of things, but it wasn't Elohim. So now I digress. Let's take a trip to Revelation 17 and let's look at this bald-headed hoe. You know her as Babylon. Give me a second, everybody. There we go. Ready to roll. Revelation 17:1. There came out of one of the seven Malachim, which had one of the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show you unto you the judgment of the great whore. Now we're going to deal with the word whore. The word whore and harlot is exactly the same for the word for fornication. So let me get the word for fornication. We'll kill it all at one time. That sit upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. That word is zanah. It means to commit fornication or to play the harlot or to be a harlot. You have a zayin, a noon, and a hey. Proceed. Zayin, noon, and hey. Proceed. You can find this word in 2 Chronicles 21 and 11 and Genesis 34 and 31 if you would like to look it up for your own pleasure. But that is the word for fornication, harlot, and whore. It is zanah. Zanah. Zayin, noon, and hey. All three of those, that word is synonymous for fornication, whore, and harlot.
You said it's the same word for harlot and fornication?
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. You know, everybody like bald-headed hoes. Matter of fact, let's look at what they promoting this summer. It's focused with black folks, and you know, a little Duval going hard with it. Hot girl summer, bald-headed hoe summer. And then you got talking about a city boy summer, a hot boy summer. Ain't nothing but a bald-headed hoe summer, both ways of the coin.
City girls up 520.
You know what I mean? That's what they got going on. But just like I seen what it is, that whole bald-headed too. Just hilarious talking about you stupid niggas fall for the spell casting every single time. Because the women who telling you to do this and do that got a whole nigga at home, got a whole family, married and all. Married and all. You know what I'm talking about? And you around here talking about I can replace you. Look at what Beyonce talking about, I can get another you tomorrow. But another you never comes. So guess what? Beyonce ain't get another her. Well, there's other reasons for that. But if we was to look at it on the regular sense, she ain't no another Jay-Z sitting around here. Where's she gonna find another nigga worth $1 billion at? That's a part of black culture and the representation, everything she can use to help enhance her brand already. Where's she gonna find another nigga like that at? Think niggas like that growing on trees? You think she with that nigga for his amazing wit and intelligence? Or you think she with him because them white folks say that way you going? Because they do. Y'all ain't never noticed it's not very many high-level celebrities that are not married to another celebrity. Most of them are not married to regular people. And you ain't ever thought to yourself, why is that the case?
All the people that get money that's married to regular people.
For the most part.
Yeah, or if you're already married.
Athletes.
Like, I mean, but it's not really how they
You wouldn't even know. You don't walk past the big wide.
Yeah, he was married before he came in.
Married already. Been with the same person since he was a teenager. It's only a few.
Samful, because they paired them niggas together. You think Kanye, yes, would he wanted to be with a Kardashian woman? No. You think you, of course you would. Of course you would. Of course you would think that till you find out the Kardashians is a family full of witches.
But that was what he was with a girl until his career.
Yeah, I mean, bro, they tell them nigga this who you gonna be with for publicity. You know what I'm saying? That's why I put that in there with Faith. When Faith was like her marriage to Biggie was all a ploy. Faith been a bald-headed hoe for years. She got kids from a whole bunch of niggas. We be looking at these women like these pristine vaginas. These hoes been sluts.
I mean, we know that because they be married to the same person, best friend, auntie, uncle.
Pass her around like a doobie.
We know that too. All the rest of them.
Then they tell you Angelina Jolie was one of the most beautiful women in the world. In what dimension? A junkie. Say, where's the... What y'all got for that Zayn Noon and hey? Cut off from life. You got your hay in there? Where your hay at?
I said, yeah, I was gonna say.
That's how you get cut off.
But all I can get you with is, you know, that man with raised arms gonna cut off that seed. The reason why I use that in the context is he gonna cut off Babylon. Let's look at how he gonna cut off Babylon. I want y'all to see some things with this bald-headed hoe with her fornication. Because see, this is what happens when you drink from the wrath of her fornication. And before, what did he tell you, right? He said that you should know how to possess your vessel in sanctification and honor and to abstain from what? Fornication. You know what I'm saying? Now, he talking about literal fornication in that aspect. But if you don't abstain from fornication, what did he say happened to them in the wilderness messing with Baal Peor? What they was up there doing? Committing fornication, wasn't it? And what happened to everybody who was up there doing? He cut them off. So when we look at fornication or what Babylon is promoting, they're promoting fornication as a physical sex. The same way that you can see when he said in Revelation 2 about Jezebel, how she was seducing his servants to do what? Commit fornication and bow down to idols. Because you can also commit fornication by doing what? Worshiping other gods. So this is a part of the wine of the fornication that she's caused people to be drunk with. When you look at what goddess worship is now, like we were talking about this here, and I mentioned that to y'all last week, right? You get down on the knee to a woman, you venerate in Venus. I just seen some information that like Venus' favorite flower was the rose, and they was like, that's where the custom come in at of giving women roses. Does that mean you sinning because you gave a woman a rose? No, but what they're trying to do is subliminally program you with that worship to be drunk off the veneration of this goddess principle. So therefore, this is where the beast come in at, because the woman is riding on who? On the beast. So the beast is really what? He is the support of the doctrines of fornication that the whore emits. We already know that the whole system is Babylonian or Kemetic mystery school systems, because they're all the same gods. If you study Babylon and you study Kemet, you're going to see the same deities with different names. Slight variations in Babylon, but you're going to see different names. It's all the same thing. So this is why the beast is supporting this whore. So this is what we're looking at. You got to understand that. And who support whores in the modern age now? Simp niggas. You support these women and they folly. This is why Proverbs 31:3 tells you to not give your strength unto a woman. We live in a society now, you cannot hold a woman accountable for her actions. Matter of fact, most women will leave a man who holds her accountable. Now, the brother be talking about in these videos, and he makes a good point. I see how you women feel. He say women don't really necessarily want thugs. Because you know how black people like, why do women want on the thugs? He said they're not attracted to that. They're attracted to the dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? And I can concur with that. There's very few women on this earth that would prefer, because when he say dysfunction, meaning structure and order. Because when there's structure and order, that means she doesn't have the ability to freelance and do what she wants to do. That means that he's set in what it is. He's going to hold her accountable. She has to stay inside that framework. You know what I'm saying? And that's not exciting. You know what I'm talking about? That is a regular, mundane life. You got your role. I got my role. You know, when we got time, depending on what we're working on financially, we can go do this and go do that. But with the thug or the dysfunctional man, you never know what can happen. Every day is an excitement. Because I've noticed that in my lifetime, how women will look at a dude and say, I need me a man like you. Well, if you need a man like him, why don't you just get him? You don't need a man like him. What you want is he has what you desire, but you don't find that appealing. You really want to find the dysfunctional individual and then hope he can imitate the functional man, but you know that that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because the average young one, especially now, it's gotten worse since, clearly because I've aged since that time period. It done got worse now. You know what I'm saying? You can't be functional and somebody finds that attractive. She going to find you born and she going to cheat on you. You know what I'm talking about? She going to find somebody else and then get mad when you don't want to take her back. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women be like, oh, men cheat and this, that, there, and the third. That comes to how people look at it, like how the brother be on the videos on a man can have more than one woman. That's why dudes can do that and don't have no problem with it. The script tell you about that. Another nigga been up in them drawers, you getting stoned. Ain't no man taking no woman back who done let another nigga go up in her. That nigga look like that's a violation. That's disgusting. You know, the woman is mad, but she might mess with that nigga again because nobody entered him unless he was a homosexual. So she'll be upset. She don't really want to share this nigga. This nigga sit back and look at, you let another man inside your body. And I'm not fooling with that. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? What did y'all do when we were laying down with other guys? He said, nah, man, you got to slide. I'm not on that. I ain't no sucker. You ain't gonna be cheating with no whole bunch of dudes and come back around here and try to kiss me in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because that you have to sit back. But the reason why it's not like that, why we don't view it that way, is because of the whore of Babylon. Because if you look at a majority of these deities that are goddesses, they are whores. They slept around. If you actually read their story, Astarte slept around. Kali Ma slept around. You know what I'm saying? What's that other one? I can't remember her name. But they slept around. The one who had the legs like, her name is Pavarte. She slept around. Isis was a whore. And see, you don't know that from these stories. So they're teaching you to accept whoredom. What does Yahuwah say about whoredom? I ain't with it. I ain't with it. What do women say? It doesn't matter how many men I've been with. Why? It don't matter. So you mean to tell me a real man will look past my past? No, Hope. I'm not y'all. I ain't got to look past your sins. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't finna sleep with 60 niggas and come back me talking about I need to look past that. You know what I'm saying? But that's how a lot of women feel though. You done slept with all these niggas and I'm supposed to be cool with that. Now I gotta be like in that movie when Bernie Mac was like, I remember you. They used to call you jawbone. You know what I'm talking about? I got to be cool with that. That nigga say, you know. That nigga say, that's my wife you talking about. But he agreed with him before he said, that's my wife you talking about. He know his wife a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know that in this present society, you supposed to agree with. It doesn't matter how many men I've been with. I bet you lied. I bet you lied. I bet you lied. How you 23, baby? You been with 30 niggas already. You got a nigga for every year of life. You ain't even been alive that long. You ain't been sexually active since what, 15, 16? You ain't been playing no games. And I'm supposed to be cool with it. Yahuwah look past your sins. I'm not you. I'm not looking past that. Because every man in this room know don't nobody want to marry no hoe. Why you think Yahushua had to come through here and make you be born again? That's her. That's house party. Why you think he had to come through and be born again? Man say he can't marry no whore. He had to make you a chaste virgin. Yahusha ain't no sucker. Around here, I'm gonna marry a hoe. Everybody around here talking bad about me. Got me messed up. Why you think he was so mad? You reading Ezekiel, what he said. You open your feet to everybody that passed by. You got all these people running their mouth against me like I'm some type of sucker nigga. He can't control his old lady. She hitting everybody. And he describes it in this exact fashion. Remember I told you y'all never check no nation by his wife. He always checked his wife. You ain't never seen y'all rain down on no nation for sleeping with his wife. He rained down on them for messing with his wife, but never for his wife sleeping with, because he a gangster, he a G. Check this hoe, check you. You ain't have no loyalty to me. This hoe did, so I'm gonna deal with her. You know what I'm talking about? That man ain't want no hoe. High priest can't even marry no whore. That man said, I gotta come up with something. Because I need me a wife. I can't marry no hoe now. I can't go out like that. But dudes don't realize that. Your God don't want a hoe, but you want me to want one. You know what I'm saying? Now, we know ain't nobody marrying virgins in these days and times, but baby, you can't be under 30 and got 30. That just ain't right. It just ain't right. But that's what the whore of Babylon have been teaching. You know what I'm saying? Niggas walking around here, all these people can tell you they sexual exploits they done had with your wife. You know that crush a man's whole spirit? You know what I'm talking about? Now he got to go home every day. He don't even smoke weed. Or this nigga smoking crack in the back room. What's wrong? Your mama's a hoe, son. I can't take it. What she do, daddy? Is who she didn't do, son. Who she didn't do. And I know a lot of girls I went to school with, they got a whole husband out here. They probably don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Dudes done what? All on a toaster strudel. Junk sack. Let's take a look at Isaiah 23, man. Now this is going to be talking about Tyree. Y'all know about Tyree? Tyree and Zidon? Y'all familiar with that? No, Isaiah 23. They in Ezekiel. Ezekiel 23. Isaiah 23. Yeah, I heard him. If you work for Tyree, nigga, you ought to be dead, nigga. You's a zombie. That nigga been dead. You work with a nigga named Tyree? That was your homeboy too. That nigga, let's see. Brother Harrison know about that house party 3. He knew what that was. And he said, they used to call you jawbone. That junk was hilarious. They was all in there fighting. I'm talking about, boy, I know a girl, she done got married, had kids and all, and I know she used to walk up and down Emerson or Phillips or Beach Boulevard, and the first nigga that stopped her and her cousin was getting in the car, and that nigga got a pleasant surprise that day. Straight up and down. At 14, nigga. Nigga, I was in the county, nigga said, everybody know her. I said, that's sad. Nigga said, every nigga from the north, east, south, and west know about your coochie. That's not good. And you want somebody to love you, baby, you don't even love yourself. And that's why it's imperative for a man to watch over and guard his daughter. All you niggas got these children in here, you niggas better be plotting and planning on who you getting your daughter to. Send your daughter out there in the world if you want her. Don't get shocked when she come back a whore. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas got too many children in here for a nigga to be around here talking about when my child get 18, she can go pick her man. No, sir. No, sir. That just don't make no sense. And y'all should know from your own personal experience, you would toot your booty way ahead of time. You better go ahead and make provisions. Who? They know that ain't one of them in here no virgin. Ain't nobody was in here no virgin before they got married. Most of y'all probably wasn't no virgin by the. They all got church. I'm talking about the women. Most of the women in here know they probably lost their virginity before they hit 21. We know this nigga ain't no virgin. This nigga done told you stories. This nigga done told you he was around here pimping and simping all across the world. I don't remember the details. I just know he told them.
Oh, nigga, nigga.
That wasn't even about then. It was both of
Lord have mercy. We both
them.
have.
Right. Yeah, I ate too.
Nigga ain't did nothing but take her to the dollar menu.
No.
That nigga done pulled up the Mickey D's.
Yeah, I don't eat myself.
Nigga say, make sure you get that. You get me a cheeseburger with no ketchup. He wasn't even paying. Nigga say, I want no cheese, baby, just the meat. Cause I want to give you just the meat.
Are you being grateful? I believe so.
Isaiah 23:1. The burden of Tyre, how you ships of Tarshish, for it is laid waste, so that there is no house, no entering in from the land of Shittim. It is revealed to them. He says, there's no house for them to enter in. He gonna give the same type of scenario that's ran down for Babylon. Now, most High willing, this gonna spill in the next week because we're gonna look at Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, things that are pertaining to Babylon and its destruction. Because remember, right, I want to ask y'all this. In history, who took down Babylon? The Medes and Persians. Now, the books say Babylon will be no more. Is Babylon still here? It is still here. So even though he made that reference, he was pointing to something further on down the line. Because he said he let you know the Medes was going to take Babylon out. He said, be still, you inhabitants of the isle. Look who he telling to be still. Who he telling to be still? Gentiles. But who is Zidon? What family he come from? That's ham sandwich. That's that. And what does ham mean? That am hot. Hot. Mama, I'm hot. Mama, I'm hot.
Yeah, that nigga hot in the sun, black.
Mama, I'm hot. Hot black. Hot black. He said, listen what he say. By great waters, the seed of Sion, the harvest of the river is her revenue. She's a mark of the nations. So if he says she's a mark of the nations, what does that mean? What does that mean? Who knows what that means? That means that mark. That means she's a merchandiser. That means the people get rich with her. Come back to Revelation 17. Let's see what it say about Babylon. Kmart, revenue, baby, get the money around here. Kmart went bankrupt now. Went bankrupt. Not Quickie Mart. I need Revelation 18. My apologies. 18:1. Revelation 18:1, if you're not aware, also is going to tie back to the stuff that we seen about pride with this woman. It's the same thing because Isaiah 47 and Revelation 18:1 are pretty much the same exact thing. They say pretty much the same thing, word for word. He said, after these things, I saw another Malachim come down from Shamaim, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his esteem. He cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great, is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul ruach, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Now let me show you where that's at in the text, if you didn't know. Hold this and come to Isaiah 21, because it's in the text. Yes, ma'am. Isaiah 21:1, because it tells you how Medes will defeat Babylon. Listen what it says. Isaiah 21:1. The burden of the desert of the sea, as whirlwinds in the south pass through, so it comes from the desert, from a terrible land. Remember what he said about the whirlwind. Who come in the whirlwind? Yahuwah come in the whirlwind. So he was equating the destruction of Babylon by Medes as when he comes. He said, a grievous vision is declared unto me. The treacherous dealer deal treacherously. The spoiler go up. The spoiler spoileth. Go up, O Elam, besiege, O Media. All the sighing thereof have I made to cease. Now, we're going to skip down from verses 3 to 6 because that's dealing with a Mashal on the night of his death. We done went over that before. Remember tell you, prepare the table. You know what I mean? All that. We're going to pick it up at verse 7. He said he saw a chariot with a couple horsemen, a chariot of asses, a chariot of camels. He hearkened diligently with much heed. He cried, a lion, my lord, stand continually upon the watchtower in the daytime. I'm set in my ward whole nights. Remember what Yahushua said? He told you to watch day and night. That's the next thing he said. And behold, here come a chariot of men with a couple of horsemen. And he answered, Babylon is fallen, All the graven images of our gods have he broken unto the ground. When you see Babylon is fallen and she's full of all these things, because now these idols are being destroyed. See, remember, man, that it's all the same word. Beautiful thing. And let's ask this question. Was all the idols in Babylon destroyed during Medes and Persia? Absolutely not, because them niggas brought their own idols. But when Yahusha coming through, ain't no more idols. So remember, the stuff that we were mentioning about the behavior of women is not the women's fault. It's the men's fault, because you tolerated it and you allowed it. You allow goddess pagan worship to be dictated to your daughters. You know what I'm saying? That's your fault. That's not her fault. It's not her job to lead herself. That's what he made you for. Who he say he made first? Adam's job was to do what? Lead Eve. That's why Satan went to go to Eve, because women are emotional and they go off how they feel and what they find desirable in the moment. A lot of women be like, well, why wasn't Adam there with his wife? Why does he got to be with her 24/7, nigga? Is your husband with you 24/7? Don't you know what you're supposed to do? Do your husband got to hold your hand? See, I was gonna make the difference, but I ain't gonna have time today. The difference between a weak woman, because the whore of Babylon is symbolic of a weak woman. And then you have the virtuous woman, and there's a difference between the two. Because remember, a virtuous woman just means strong. And you know what makes the virtuous woman strong? Her desire to serve. See, the whore of Babylon has no desire to serve. She doesn't have a desire to serve. When you read about that woman in Proverbs 31, the key thing that is always mentioned is her service. She served her household. She served her children. She served her kids. She knew the vision of her husband. That's why she could go buy a vineyard and say it's good and we can plant crops and get some money. That's why she says she served her handmaidens. That's why that's mentioned, because that's where her strength lies, because that is the strength of femininity. You know what I'm saying? And you're not told that. The strength of femininity in this culture is to say, I don't need a man. I'm independent. I can do it on my own. Or to basically to compete with the man. And that's not strength, that's weakness, because you're outside of your Yahuwah ordained role. He said, I'm going to make her to be a what? A helpmeet. So she's an aid, a help, and a relief. When you read about the woman in Proverbs 31, that is what she is. An aid, a help, a relief. Women are not taught that. They're taught to be like the whore of Babylon. It's about me and what I want. You know what I'm saying? And that is culturally, and it's the men's fault because we have allowed that. That's what people come in. She's a daddy's girl. Well, all a daddy's girl means is you let her do what she want to do. You know what I'm talking about? In the generic sense of what that term means. Now, of course, to each individual, it may mean different things. But we're just talking about in generic culturally when that statement is made. That's what that means. He allows his daughter to do whatever she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not, you shouldn't do that. But look at Rachel. Rachel has so much respect for her father as a grown woman who had birthed children to say, Father, forgive me, I'm on my period. I can't stand up to give you honor. That's how much honor and respect she had for her father. You got a lot of women, they won't do that. I'm grown, I don't live here anymore, I'm married. You know what I mean? I done told y'all to do it. It don't matter how old you get, you got to respect your parents while they're alive. Respecting them doesn't mean going for their every whim. It doesn't matter what they do, how stupid they are. You know what I'm talking about? You give them the respect that they do because they're your parents. Because like I told you, if you can't honor your parents on earth, you're not going to honor Yahuwah. And you can tell that lie to somebody else, but you ain't going to tell it to me. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody's a jackass doesn't give you license to act like a jackass with them. That means that you're the weak person because you're allowing this person's behavior to dictate how you behave. If you already know somebody's a jackass, you got the upper hand because I know how to deal with you. This is why Paul said we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. If you already know Satan's plans, how can he get the upper hand over you? So if he get the upper hand over you, you the dummy because you already knew what he was going to do before he did it. And you let that get you out of pocket. That means you have the mind of a child. You know what I'm saying? Or you lack wisdom. Or a combination of the two. You know what I'm saying? But you have to know that you have to repeat that. That's why it's dutiful for a man to raise his children. That's why I've been telling y'all for years, it's not the woman's job to teach the children. That's not her job. What can she teach your child after they get about 5? What can she really teach them? When you teaching her and leading her, what can she really teach them? She can't teach them nothing other than what you taught her. And if you ain't taught her nothing, then don't be shocked because your wife and your kids stupid, because that's your fault. Straight up and down, that's your fault. The woman can't really teach a child once they get past 5. It ain't too much she can give them. You know what I'm talking about? So what you think you there for? Just to pay bills? You there to pay bills, lead, advice, counsel, all that. And to teach her. Why you think women sit back looking at it? I want me a man to lead me. She telling you, nigga, I know I can't handle my affairs, but to a certain point. That's what I need you for. That's why they post all them memes. A woman want to take off the Superman cape. She ain't never want to put it on. But because she was taught improperly, she ended up taking on more of a burden than she was ever created to take. It's not her job. She wasn't made for that. Eve wasn't made to carry no burdens. The only burden she was to carry was your seed for 9 months. And that's it. When things get hectic, who a woman look to? She gonna like this here. My husband. Why you think women get upset when a man is indecisive? Oh, this nigga can't lead. This nigga's a coward. This nigga can't even make a decision. You know what I'm talking about? Women don't find that attractive. So, baby, what we gonna do? What you think we should do? Well, hell, nigga, I could have married myself for that. You asking me what we should do. Nigga, I'm asking you what to do because I don't know, nigga. That's what I got you for. I thought you had enough sense to direct the way. Clearly not. I'm going in my room to cry. Straight up and down, because nigga like this here. I'm on a boat with no others. How we gonna paddle up the stream? You know what I'm saying? I say that because what is y'all ordained it for? The man is the head. So if the man's leaning on a Mashal, he can lead his family. He can make decisions. And if it's too hard of a decision for him to make, then you know what the words say do. Before making war, go holler at counselors and get recommended course of action and make the decision. You don't never go to your wife to say what you should do. She ain't gonna respect you. You know what I'm saying? Because she gonna know you can't lead me. If you don't know what to do, you find other men and you go talk to them. You don't go to her with that. That's that new age stuff. You know what I'm talking For real though. You can't go to no woman for masculine decisions. Because she said that's what she looking at you, that's why you're my leader. I don't want to make these decisions. I'm not supposed to make them. What you asking me for? You tell me what to do, nigga. I'm your servant. Let me know. What that man say? He say, I'm a man under authority. I tell men to go here and they go. I tell men to do this and they do it. She looking at his ear. Nigga, tell me what to do. How can I help if you don't tell me what to do? Tell me what to do. I'm not a leader. I don't have a penis, sir. Have you not noticed? I think you would have noticed after a while. You know what I mean? Revelation what? Oh, let me finish this. Well, that's good enough. That's good enough. Come back to Revelation 8. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. If a woman got any level, I'm telling you, man, her femininity is in her service. Because what did it say about that man? It says his heart rests safely with her, that she won't do her no spoil. She won't spoil him. She won't rob him. He'll walk around and praise her. Well, you know about my wife? Well, you know my wife be holding it down. You know what I'm saying? That make a man feel good when he can say that. You got to ask yourself, do your husband say that according to these scripts, not according to that worldly stuff? He say this here, I got a strong wife. But man say in the word he got a strong wife, that means his wife is servant. And she's a true helpmeet. You know, she's supposed to be the support when stuff get ugly that you can lean on. That's why she's called a virtuous. She's a strong woman. Because a man can give some nurturing, but a man can't nurture in a negative situation like a woman can. No, he doesn't have that ability. That's what she's made for. Stuff get a little bit ugly, you're a little bit frustrated, you know what I'm saying, a little bit down. She has that ability to help navigate that scene with you. Not make decisions or tell you what to do, but just give you perspective. Kind word. Ain't that what the book says? The law of kindness is in her mouth, wisdom on her tongue. I'm trying to tell you that junk vital. Because she gets you in perspective. You know what I'm talking about? She know what to say at the right moment. You like, this is what I married her for. You know what he turn around and do? I'm going to buy a Benz. I don't even care if she want one. I buy this and buy that. When you know this niggas do a lot for their old lady, I guarantee you she served that man on the regular. If he ain't no simp, I guarantee you he served. He like to say she get whatever she want. It ain't even no thought about it because she's a servant. People take care of their service when they serve good. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take care of her. You're going to hold her down. Not out of obligation because I'm married and I feel like I have to. You do it because you want to. That's no different than serving your husband. You don't serve your husband out of obligation because this is what Yahuwah say to do. You do it because you want to, because you love it. You know what I'm saying? I love my family. I love my husband. I do this because I want to. When you do it because you want to, that shows the hallmark that you are a wife. You know what I'm saying? If you do it because you feel like you have to, then you probably shouldn't have got married because you signed up for a job you didn't want. Or you were ignorant in regards to what the job requirements were for the job when you filled out the application. You were what they say when niggas fill out an application but they not qualified. You weren't qualified for the job, but you filled out the application anyway. Then you were shocked when you got hired, and now you're like, what do I do? That's what happens with a lot of people, word or no word.
I just seen that meme the other day. It was like a bunch of there was a bunch of young niggas running track, like in a marathon, and they had like I don't know how they did a picture like a Photoshop. It was a fat black lady, and it was like, when you apply for the job that you ain't qualified for.
Yes, most definitely. Submission is definitely femininity, and it's definitely not weak. And I told y'all that before, right? You could get more out of a man being submissive to him than nagging, complaining, or competing with him. All you got to do is serve him. If he any type of man, he's going to acknowledge your service, and he's gonna reward you for it. If you serve him and he don't reward you for it, then guess what? Just do it for the Lord and let him reward you. That's how you got to look at it. But that comes from that because like I told you, if you married, the only person you should be seeking validation from is your husband and your God, and that's it. You don't need to be validated by no man walking this earth. He ain't your husband. He ain't going up in you. So that nigga, what you need him to validate you for? You know what I'm saying? So that means you need to know what your husband want and what he require and do it. You know what I'm talking about? And that's all you got to do. And when you're doing it as you're doing it unto the Lord, and do it with joy. Because you're supposed to be looking at him as unto the Lord. So when you put that correlation together, that my service to him is how I would serve my master in heaven, then it probably should come a little bit easier. But again, that's because we're not taught that. You're not taught to do that. Just like a man's not taught to serve his wife in the fashion that a Mashal served his. So that's where the problem come in at. Because not only did a Mashal, we already know that, not only did he provide and protect, but he leaded, he guided, he counseled, he nurtured. You know what I'm saying? He cherished and he honored his wife. Notice that that's different from nigga talking about you got to submit to your wife. You's a whole nigga, you submit to a woman. And she'll tell you that to your face. Oh, my husband, if you was to sit back and talk to another chick, oh yeah, my husband submit to me, she gonna pause that nigga a whole girl. And y'all gonna sit there and laugh together. Because you know you're a whole nigga. And some of y'all probably done having conversations with some of your friends where they talking about, yeah, I got me a real whole nigga. I know you're a whole nigga, but he paid the bills. You know what I'm saying? You know it, but your sister was talking like that. How you looking? You cheesing over there? Your sister done told you something like that? You know that what your sister say about her? Whoa. Oh, that nigga whole nigga.
You talking about?
Oh, that nigga whole nigga.
Well, that's a given though. I think that's
That nigga say, shoot, I get on my back. You know what I'm saying? Spread my legs. Punish me. That's how he feel. I know one thing. I'd be damned I cook in this house. You'll get your regular behind in here cooking me. I wouldn't care if it was a flapjack, nigga. Nigga, I wouldn't care if you were frying burgers on the stove, nigga. That junk could be some sliders, nigga. You don't make me Sunday. Well, I done told you this before. If a woman go to talking to you sideways, she done lost respect. A real woman would never disrespect a man she respects with her words. No matter what he says, no matter what he does, she's like, this nigga getting on my lad nerve. But she not gonna disrespect him if she respect. He could call her out her name, and she gonna have enough wisdom to know that nigga tripping. And I'm gonna just leave him to his own devices till he get his mind right. If she respect him, she's not gonna disrespect him. Once a woman go to getting disrespectful out of her mouth, the respect for that man been gone. You know what I'm saying? Women don't do that. A real woman is not disrespecting the man she respects. She's not gonna do it because the minute she knows intrinsically. The minute she does that, he may not fool with her no more. If she know that that's a man, because she know a man's not gonna tolerate that. He gonna be like, you know what? You get your bald headed behind up out my house. Go to your mammy house. You know what I'm saying? Go to your homegirl house. You can go to the whole house, but you can't stay here. You know what I'm saying? And you know that, and y'all know that. Any nigga y'all ever got sideways out the mouth with is because you know you didn't respect him. You like to say, who this nigga think is? Shut up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna look at no man you respect and tell him to shut up. Because you know two things coming: a verbal assault or a backhand. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know that. If it's a man you respect, you already know. I know you're thinking in your mind, if I say this nigga might slap me. Screw it. F you, nigga, whole nigga. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, because you already got it in your mind if you're going to fight him back. You can't do that. You can't do that. Like what I told y'all the other day. Well, I had talking to y'all. You know, women ain't hard to figure out. Niggas always talking about women are hard to figure out. No, they not. You niggas just don't pay attention. Women ain't hard to figure out. Just like children ain't hard to figure out. How can an emotional creature, how can a woman be hard to figure out and you got to leave her? That means something wrong with you. There's a deficiency in you. You know why your woman hard to figure out? Because you didn't take the time to learn who she was. You don't pay attention to what she does. And you don't have conversations with her to understand the way that her mind works. You know what I'm saying? Or you just don't have a lot of experience with women. Because at the end of the day, women aren't that difficult to understand. You know what I'm saying? They're not that difficult to understand. At all. You know what I'm saying? All that women, like, why do you think they were the women come from Venus? They were trying to tell you come from a goddess. They were trying to tell you. They were trying to tell you. And men come from Mars. So what they telling you? The god of lust and the god of war. This is what they were trying to teach you. Made millions off that book to condition you to act like these pagan deities. And people ate it up. Same way people used to buy them Dr. Spock books. I ain't buying no book from a nigga named Spock. I just because his name's Spock. Nigga, I don't even know if that's your real name, nigga. Not Dr. Spock from the show. There was an actual child psychologist named Dr. Spock, and he made a lot of money writing children's books and birthing books at one time. His books are still, he's dead, but his books are still in massive circulation. And they are still very popular, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? It is. But I mean, you can't, I'm just clowning though, because his name's Spock. But he may have very good vital information in his books. I don't know. I didn't read them. You know what I mean? I was 12 years old first time I seen them books. So, I mean, what I care about Dr. Spock, I ain't having no children no time soon. You know what I'm saying? Revelation 18:3. He say, for all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Look at what it said. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. What did it say that Tyre was again? Let's come back to Isaiah 23. She's the mart of the nations. So that means that Tyre is actually being equated with what Babylon was. Because the people are getting rich with Tyre. The same way that people was getting rich with, that's why everybody say it's America. But it's not America per se, because Babylon is a world system. The Babylonian mystery school system is throughout the whole earth. It's not just in America. You can find the Babylonian mystery school system in Asia. You can definitely find it in the Middle East, and you can definitely find it in Europe. You can find it in Central and South America. You can find it in Mexico. It's everywhere. But the people get rich off, and what are they getting rich off of? The sins of the people. It's not necessarily the financial system, but catering to the sins of the people.
That's what I was saying. Most of the time, people had control over like the real info. It was the people of high class because they was profiting off of it.
Absolutely, because they have the ability to have the merchandise to profit off the sins of the people.
So they got their information, the mysteries of the mysteries. The people that got the mysteries of it is the people that making the worship. That's it. I read about the ministry, they're like the people who knew the most is to control, like regular people.
Yeah, because they call the people at the bottom, they call you useless eaters or bottom feeders. Because they say that because you consume everything that they put out. You know what I'm saying? And you see that now. Nigga like, boy, you seen them new Jordans, boy? Nigga running to go get them. Like I seen niggas like, oh, Zion signed with Jordan. And my homeboy was like, dumb nigga, he signed with Nike. Because somebody was like, why he ain't signed with Nike? He was like, nigga, he is. You know what I'm saying? He was like, what you mean? The nigga was like, nigga, it's the same thing. Nigga, you got played for a dupe. Because maybe they feel like you wouldn't go buy some Zion shoes without a jump man on it. You know what I'm saying? Or the stuff that they sell you. Tarot cards, Ouija board, whatever they sell you, you go get it. They say put a string in your butt and people and women went and bought it. Walk around in public with it. I mentioned that because a homeboy in the sports group took a picture of a chick at Walmart and she had on some sheer pants with a thong on in public. You know what I'm saying? But it's just certain things that they put out there like this here, right? Would women wear weave if they didn't sell it? Absolutely not. But like we already know, they take a lot of that weave from India and they do what with it? Sacrifice it to their gods. You think they don't do that with the rest of it? And they were blatant to tell you that they do that with that. You know what I'm saying? They were blatant to tell you we sacrifice. And I'm like, and I used to say that back then. And I used to say that back then, and these hoes wonder why they crazy. Because you got all these doggone invoked idols in your scalp. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know. Many people can put out anything and people gonna buy it. I mean, the world has always been materialistic because that's just the nature of man. It's not a new thing. Ain't nothing new under the sun. If this is the martyr of the nations during Tyree and Zidon, you know they was materialistic then. Sex toys. Isaiah 23 and 4. Be you ashamed, O Zidon, for the sea have spoken, even the strength of the sea, saying, I travail not, nor bring forth children, neither do I nourish up young men, nor bring up virgins. That's what I've been talking about the whole time. Babylon or Zidon here, that's what they said we don't do. We don't nourish up young men, we don't raise up young men, and we don't raise virgins. Let me get that word for nourish. See, y'all ain't don't play no games, do it. Y'all let you know what it is. Like I said, all that stuff I was saying wasn't for no reason. It's right here in the text. He telling you. Get that word for nourish. It's gadol. It means to grow, to become important, to become great or important, to promote, to make powerful, to praise, to magnify, to do great things. So it's saying that I don't make my young men become great. And that's a Gamal, a Dalit, and a Lamad. So guess what? You don't get to know the way of the teaching of the sacrifice, which is what will make you become great, because Luke chapter 1 said that Yahushua will be called what? Great. How do you become great? It's through. That's why I've been sitting there telling you it's the man fault. And what do you see in America now? Or even across the world? Young men are not being nourished to be great. You're not teaching him to be great. So what does he end up becoming? A mediocre simp. And then it says the young women are not being brought up to be virgins. So that means the young women are not being brought up to be chaste, to know how to be somebody's wife, to know how to be somebody's mother. We're not concerned with that. Get this money. Drink this cup. Be this hoe. Be this simp. Get on that knee and propose to that woman. Tell her you love her. I've been noticing that my whole life, man, like how this whole society teaches a man to serve a woman. You know what I'm saying? But nobody teaches the young men to be great. And then they talk about, see, we got to focus on the black girls to make them great. The junk was been focused on them the whole time. Because they already know. But you already know that's the death knell of a civilization when they promote the woman. That's the death knell of a civilization. It has to be the young. Because notice he didn't say that they didn't make the young women great. He said it didn't nourish the young men. They didn't make the men powerful. Why don't you make the men powerful? Because then I can destroy and overrun the people if the men aren't powerful and are not great. That's why they make a concerted effort in this society to kill off any black man, quote unquote, that shows forth those attributes or get him to sell out because they fear that. And they fear the women being virgins because then therefore you're not spending money in the way that they're trying to objectify and cultivate you to be this whore of Babylon. So this is why you sit back and look at that and understand all these things. It's not by accident, and Yahuwah has told you. This is something from the ancient times. Nevertheless, he says, as the report concerning Egypt, so shall they be sorely pained at the report of Tyre. You remember the report at Egypt? What happened with the report at Egypt? Plagues, destruction, death. Pass you over to Tarshish, how you inhabitants of the isle. Is this your joyous city? Whose antiquity is of ancient days? Her own feet shall carry her afar off to sojourn. Who have taken this counsel against Tyre, the crowning city, whose merchants are princes, who traffickers are the honorable of the earth? Well, let's look at traffickers. Because now he's telling you it's the great men that are promoting these whoredom, which is just taking us back to how the beast supports the whore. Because the whore has the fornication, but the beast carries or promotes or traffics for fornication. Does that make sense? Because she can't do it on her own. You know why? Because a woman doesn't have that ability. No one would believe it if it came from her. And again, that doesn't denigrate a woman. It's just to understand it. I done told y'all this before, especially with stuff right about with the word. A woman could come tell a man something and be 100% correct, and he won't listen to it. A man could come tell him the same thing and he'll receive it because it's intrinsic in the nature of a man to receive correction from another man and not a woman. He won't take it. He'll feel like you treat me like I'm your mom, like you my mama. That's not your job. You know what I'm saying? You can shoot me some info. You could make you a suggestion. But if you come, and I'm talking about, I mainly notice this with the word more specifically than anything. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no man taking no correction from no woman about no word. He gonna completely ignore her because he already knows she out of pocket. Now, I can't say I have seen men take correction from women and natural things and have no problem with it. That depends on what the matter is and his level of humility and the level of respect he has for his woman. You know what I'm saying? Because when Sarah came to Abraham and told him to put that boy out, he wasn't mad at Sarah. He was just sad that he was going to have to put the boy out. He knew Sarah. He told him nothing wrong. He just didn't care to want to, because he looked at this my son, what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? But he knew Sarah ain't told him nothing wrong because we done went through that before. There's plenty of instances in this word where a woman has told a man's son who that man held in high regard and he hearkened to her voice. David didn't know Abigail. You know what I'm talking about? She gave him wisdom, and what did he do? He said, I appreciate you. Praise, I'm glad he sent you around here because I was sure finna kill this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So no, it doesn't mean that. You have to, it's all about skill. Traffickers is the word Canaan. Lowland, also merchant and trader. So when you sit back and say who's traffickers, who's Canaan are the honorable of the earth. So basically when you look at Canaan and saying that this is the traffickers, that means that these people are pushing the Canaanite information, which takes us back to who? Baal and Nebo, the beast and the false prophet. Let's continue. Verse 9, Yahuwah of hosts have purposed it to stain the pride of all the esteemed and to bring in contempt all the honorable of the earth. So it is his objective to kill all the leaders and kings of the earth. Let's come over here to Revelation 18. And we still got more to deal with this hoe, this bald-headed hoe named Babylon. We're going to exhaust it because we want to look at what's in Jeremiah. And Jeremiah 50 and 51 are very long. Revelation 18, we'll read verse 4. He said, I heard another voice from Shamaim saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins reached unto heaven, and Elohim have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which ye have filled to her double. So remember, right, Yahuwah has a cup full of wine, and he said he poured out, and the wicked drink the dregs thereof. So the same cup that she had, that she was causing the nations to drink of, Yahuwah coming through with his cup and say, drink mine, ho, and get double for what you've been out here doing. Oh yeah, you definitely have to carry yourself as a man no matter what. I mean, you got to carry yourself as a man no matter what. You know what I'm saying? There's never no excuse for you to not conduct yourself in a manly fashion. You know what I'm saying? As a man, you should always have good control of your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Good control of your faculties and make wise and sound decisions. And if you're not able to make wise and sound decisions on a particular matter, then you ought to swallow your pride and seek out somebody who can assist you in that endeavor. You know what I'm saying? You should never seek counsel for somebody as dumb or dumb as you. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you're told. And I mention that because that's what Rehoboam did. He went and sought counsel from niggas as dumb or dumb as him. And we see what happened. How much she have esteemed herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That says that in Isaiah 47. We're not going to grab it right now, but it says that in Isaiah 47, word for word. Therefore shall her plagues come sudden in one day, death and mourning and famine. She shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahuwah Elohim who judge her. Now remember, when it's referring to a she, it's Babylon is a city, because cities were always usually referred to as women. So when you see this whore of Babylon with the beast and supporting as a civilization or a culture, you know what I'm saying? And the culture of Babylon was rife with goddess worship. Of course, you know the biggest Babylonian worship in the earth right now is Islam. Go look up the daughters of Allah. I done told y'all this several times. Go look them up. 3 little statues. We already told you that. What we said, what they got to go do when they go to Mecca? What they going to do? Kiss a vulva. They're going to kiss a vagina. You know what I'm saying? So it's showing you that aspect of the beast supporting this whore. Yeah, but I don't know. But see, it's not actually shaped like a vagina, the wall. But I haven't. No, she talking about the Wailing Wall.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. She talking about. I heard you say Islam.
Want to be on the good side of those people because they down with the financiers. You don't want to piss off the financiers. That's where I get my money from.
That's right. Any one of them Arab, Muslim country step, you gotta fight. There's a whole bank system back around their money.
Yeah, they don't want to piss off the financiers. You don't want to make angry the people that control the money, because that means I can crash your economy at my leisure.
And if Israel gets took, our economy definitely crash.
That's why they do that. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, it's for some veneration of some deity. I have to look into that to be able to state that more plain. But they all do go over there and kiss. But they say that's the last. But we know that's a lie, because Yahushua said not one stone would be left standing. So we know that is not Solomon's temple that they kissing or crying at. You know you a jackass if you standing at a wall weeping. You know how stupid you got to be standing there looking at a wall crying? You got to be a special type of stupid. Let me quote unquote fly on the other side of the world, because you have some people who don't believe, and I'm of that persuasion as well, of looking at ancient maps in my youth before the word, that the continents are not separated like they claim they are. And I used to see that when I was a kid, in regards to, you know they say about Pangea, but there's a lot of ancient maps from the ancient world where the continents are not separated like they profess that they are.
It could be, because I mean, places do move. It's like on Earth.
You know what I'm saying? They do, but for the mass shifting that they claim,
I get what you're saying.
I don't believe that, because then I would have to accept fossil fuels and dinosaurs. And I don't accept fossil fuels and dinosaurs, so I can't accept a tectonic split that would cause the continents to spread apart.
That's all, right?
And other things of that nature, but that's fossil fuels are supposed to be from dinosaurs. So if I don't accept dinosaurs, I can't accept the fruit of the poisonous tree, if you will. Because I reject dinosaurs. There's plenty of oil. Because remember what they call it? They call oil a what? A non-renewable resource. Take 5 million years. Yeah, I don't believe that, bro. I don't believe it. It's plenty of oil, bro.
Yeah, I believe that part. Yeah, I guess you never think it is called fossil fuels, so gotta come from.
Yeah, that's what they call
Yeah, they
it.
definitely told us that in high school.
Yeah, that's what they taught me that in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? Fossil fuels. But again, that would mean you would have to believe that certain precious oils, metals, or stones come from the pressure from dead bones. This is how these people sized our intelligence. That oil comes from a brontosaurus bones. How stupid are we that we believe that? Do you know what I'm saying? And that even if you didn't believe it consciously, the fact that you accepted it without question. Because they're saying this stuff comes from bones. So nigga, all these dead bones in the earth, nigga, this stuff should be everywhere. So why it only come from brontosauruses and not humans? What makes their bones more special? They've never explained this. That nigga said their DNA different. It's significantly bigger. But this is how they insult our intelligence. This is how they insult our intelligence. Because certain stuff, when you sit and you think, you be like, what a nigga just tried me, bro? You know what I'm saying? And then you begin to see, look here, man, Yahuwah, just like you said, Yahuwah make anything come up out the earth, my nigga. If sun don't come up out the earth, it's because y'all said stop. I don't want no oil come up out the earth, nigga. Nigga, the book talk about oil because it would have talked about tar pits. That ain't nothing what oil is. It's nothing but a tar pit. That's all it is, man. These people be playing game, man. Come over to Isaiah 34. I think that's where it's at with that tar pit. Hold on. Let me make sure that's what that is. If not, I have to. There you go. Here you go, right here. Isaiah 34 now. We finna get ready to wrap this up, man. We got more to go, man. But if y'all willing, we're going to have to continue it. Because dealing with the whore of Babylon is going to be a long. And I got to pick certain verses to deal with it in Proverbs. Right there, pitch is Zepheth, and that's pitch, that's tar, and that's asphalt. Now, how them people got asphalt in ancient times? So if they got asphalt, which is what they say they make roads out of, you think they ain't got no oil? You think they ain't had natural gas? Remember, these people try to make you believe that your ancestors ain't had running water. These people had whole plumbing in their house. But you know why? Because white people don't have no culture. So let me denigrate antiquity and what they were doing and make it seem like I created it. And again, that's no disrespect. You have one thing about history, you have to look at history objectively with no emotions. And you have to give credit where credit is due. If them white folks had culture and they created certain things, you would be the buster to deny their accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't deny what Thomas Edison did. He did that. You can't deny what Einstein did. He did that. You know what I'm saying? But what they like to do is take their history, which is nothing, and take other people's history and say it's mine. Well, again, history is objective. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If y'all were in caves slapping each other with billy clubs, then that's what you were doing. And it's quite possible it is, because they do take a lot of credit for inventions that they did not create.
Yeah.
He made a lot of things, and he did those things. And he did those things. Again, you always got to give credit where credit is due, regardless of how you because at that point, you're no different than the people you say you don't like. And that's respect of persons. You already know. We don't roll like that. But Isaiah 34 and 9. Man. Well, I'll make it verse 6. Well, make it 5. Now, this is talking about y'all tearing down Esau specifically, but all the nations collectively. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse to judgment. So y'all cursed Edom. They ain't got nothing to do with it. And why did he curse Edom? Because their forefather hated it. That's why they cursed. It ain't got nothing to do with no skin tone. Esau despised his birthright. So you already know you damn. Nigga, I don't fool with you, nigga. Your daddy don't fool with me, nigga. Talk to him when you see him in the judgment line. You know what I'm saying? When you look at him in the judgment line, just look at Esau. So it's your fault. It's your fault, man. Nigga, I can't stand you. I'm your daddy. Don't talk to me like that. Screw you, nigga. We going to hell anyway. Honor you now. Oh, that's up. The sword of Yahuwah is filled with blood. It's made fat with the fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys and rams for Yahuwah's sacrifice and Bozrah and the great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and the land shall be soaked with blood, and the dust made with fatness. For it is the day of Yahuwah's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become a burning pitch. So you think, have you ever seen an asphalt fire? Because I've never seen an asphalt fire. I've seen oil fires, though. I've seen oil fires. No, a sodomite can't be saved if they're continuing to be a sodomite. But if they decide to not be a sodomite, there's not a single solitary sin on this earth that a man can't be delivered from if they decide to stop doing it. You know, Yahuwah's not going to snap his fingers and say, take that penis out your mouth. You just got to decide that you no longer want to have penises in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. You have to make a decision. Like I told you before, there's no magic formula. You know, the magic formula is this. You have to love Yahuwah more than the desire that goes against his word. That's the magic formula. Your love for Yahuwah has to be greater for your own gratification. That's it. That's the magic formula. It's no simpler than that. You got to love Yahuwah more than you love your own life. That's what the Lord told you, Anna. That's all you got to do. That's the magic formula, man. That's all I got. You know, because, people ask me, what do you do? What do you do? Shoot, love Yahuwah, nigga. Shoot, take care of all that. That's where everything springs from. Because when I say love Yahuwah, I'm talking about your faith in Yahuwah. Your faith in Yahuwah will spring forth your obedience. That's where everything comes from. The stronger the faith, the stronger the self-control. The weaker the faith, the weaker the self-control. It's really that simple. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never seen nobody in the book who had strong faith that had weak self-control. You seen people in there who had weak faith that had weak self-control. And then at that point, you just got to ask yourself, oh, you said an Edomite. Oh, yeah. I mean, anybody can be saved, man. I can read you that in Amos chapter 9. They say, so there be some people in Edom called by his name. Only people ain't going to be saved as sinners. He's not saving somebody because of the loins that you emanated from. He ain't saving you because you're wicked. You know what I mean? That's what he ain't going to save you for. Shoot, there's probably going to be more niggas at the house of Yasharah burning the hell than anybody. Because you had to work. You know what I mean? But we live in a romanticized time. We Israel. We mighty, mighty Israel. We the greatest nation on earth. And what imagination? Nigga, you niggas was wicked from the day you were born. That's what the Lord said. And that's what he said. You niggas been wicked. Nigga around here talking about you mighty, mighty nation. You niggas was blowing penis and eating coochie in the wilderness, nigga. With strangers. That's Moab coochie you eating, boy. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas got idols in the wilderness, nigga. Y'all made a golden calf, nigga. Y'all niggas complaining about water, complaining about food. I just had that conversation with a dude the other day. He like, I disagree, brother. You got to prepare your food for the Sabbath. Every time niggas say that, they post Exodus 16. I say, my nigga, you know that's talking about manna, right? He said, cook what you gonna cook. Of the manna, my nigga. Of the manna. Is he giving you manna, my nigga? And you don't even know why that's for. What he said on the seventh day, what gonna be there? And guess what? On that seventh day, when they went out to that tomb, guess what wasn't there? That manna. That's what wasn't there. Silly nigga thinking about that, talking about you got to eat cold cuts on the Sabbath. Nigga, you hungry? Go and make you some flapjacks, nigga. Go ahead and make you some steakums. You know that's what you like. You know what I'm saying? You around here hungry. These stupid niggas be the same nigga telling nigga I can't cook you nothing, brother. It's the Sabbath. Go away in peace. This man starving, hungry, stomach touching his back. Guess he gonna serve you who are now. You told him to go away hungry. Niggas be around here on the Sabbath eating cereal and cold cuts. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do all that. Brother say the Sabbath ain't a feast day. Well, what you call it, nigga? Because it say clear there in Leviticus 23, these are the feasts of Yahuwah. People don't get it right because the Sabbath, it's not, let me put it this way. Is a Shabbat a Moed? Y'all know what a Moed is, right? Appointed day. Is a Shabbat not an appointed day? It's a weekly appointed day. It's appointed every week. Just like the feast days are what? Appointed in their times and their seasons. Well, the time and season for the Shabbat is every 7 days. Now, why would he tell you on a feast day that it's lawful for every man to work that they may eat, but not on this day? So you can cook on Passover Shabbat. You can cook on Tabernacle Shabbat. You can cook on Trumpet Shabbat. You can cook on Pentecost Shabbat, but don't cook on the weekly Shabbat. That don't even make common sense. That's disorder and confusion. That don't even make common sense. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I say, everybody use Exodus 16. Exodus 16 is only, brothers say, he did that to see if you would obey. Yeah, with the manna. With the manna. And as y'all already know, in Joshua chapter 5, they stopped getting manna. So everything that pertained to manna, I'm not going to tell you to bake what you're going to see. Now, what if you got an astute mind? And you read this. You told me to cook what I was going to cook and season what I was going to season. It says that was referring to the manna because he gave twice as much on the 6th day. I don't have any manna. Now I look like a jacket. You know what I'm saying?
The boy trying to stop the manna too.
That's what he told him to do.
They say like on the regular day it was. Like,
he said on the 6th day, I'm going to give you. No, he said take as much as you going to eat. Because if you don't, it's going to spoil. You know what I'm saying? Now they was running around. We got worms at the house. We got worms at the house. You got too much food, son. But you have to look at things that what the ordinance is for and what it aims to, and not try to make the ordinance be all encompassing. And that's what they do with that. Or you can't cook on the Sabbath. That's not what he said there. He said, I'm going to give you, because y'all ain't dropping no food on none of us. Y'all dropped any food yesterday? Twice as much as you would normally need? Did you find food in front of your house yesterday? What about you? I ain't talking about out the stove. I'm talking about did you walk out the door? And did you find some manna in your front yard? Oh, you found some manna in your front yard? You ain't even got no front yard. Did you find it in front of your door? You grew. That did not rain down from heaven like they said. Let me go pick that up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, though, you have to look at that. Just go for what the words say and not what traditions of men say to do. Because men tell you not to cook on the Sabbath. But the word don't tell you that. The Sabbath is a feast day. You know what I'm saying? I remember I told Nell that long time ago, I don't know if we should use the microwave. I said, well, you sit in here and be hungry then, nigga. Ding! That nigga sat there, ate that food right in her face. Straight up. I'm not finna sit in here and be hungry, nigga. So what you got going on? I'm around here bald Mr. Sabbath, I'm hungry. Now that day done became a burden.
I don't know if you said it, but
every Sabbath. Had to. And were blameless. And what they did with that food when they sacrificed it, somebody went in there and ate it. They ain't just sit there, make that brisket. Yeah, I'm hungry. But it's a lot of brews who do that. Sit around, I'm hungry. I ain't got nothing to eat.
I ain't gonna lie, when I first came over, I was on that type of time.
You don't know no better.
Yeah, I was eating cereal and sandwiches.
What was you gonna do in ancient times? Wasn't no cereal you were gonna eat?
I'll eat oatmeal.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Nevertheless, man, let's finish this Revelation 18. We get out of here, man. This video already at 2.5 hours. Now that's what they do. The Jewish people, they won't drive their car because they say that's fire. That's why they synagogues they walk. That's why they was always getting run over there on San Jose Boulevard. Because no, I'm serious. Because they wouldn't press the crosswalk button. Because they felt like that was breaking the Sabbath because that was electricity and that was fire. I shall not. So they wouldn't press the button. They wanted them, so they would like 3-4 of them got ran over on San Jose and got killed. And they wanted the city to build a crosswalk on San Jose Boulevard for them to walk over. And the city say, y'all are clearly hot. Because we're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
They got the bread to do it.
Oh, the city sat back and looked at it. But that doesn't matter. That's city property. They can't build on it. City got to approve that. Then you know how that's gonna stop traffic to build a walkway for 10 niggas?
That's true though.
For 10 people. Stupid nigga, watch where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Look, they won't cut off the lights because they say if the light's already on, they ain't gonna cut it off. If the stove already on, they ain't gonna cut it off. Because they say once you cut it off, you can't cut it back on. Because now you kindling fire. But if it was already on, then you ain't kindling no fire. You good. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Can't make this up. This all for the whole Sabbath. Matter of fact, we're going to wait because I don't want to get too much in the information and halfway give it to you. So hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. We got a lot more to look at. I done gave y'all some of the chapters to review for yourself. You know, you can review 17 and 18 in Revelation, Jeremiah 50 and 51. We'll finish Isaiah 23 as well over the course of the week to see the totality of what we're looking at in regards to dealing with Babylon. So, you know, as you've seen some of the elements of the things that I was mentioning that you might have felt like was off the cuff was really in the text of how things are actually going. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that we're cognizant and aware of that and move forward and to take heed because in Zidon it said they weren't nurturing men to be great. So we need to make sure that we do the same. So I bless y'all out the house of y'all name of Yahushua. Oh, I'm not going to get into that one there, but that's an old argument. We go evening to evening only because of the matching up with the gospel. So, yeah. Anything we go by lining up with the gospel of Yah. He was asking, do Shabbat start at night or in the morning? And that's a long argument. I know that argument's been going on for my knowledge for at least 6 years. Some people believe that the day doesn't start till the sun comes up. So they keep Shabbat morning to morning. So you have some people that they didn't start keeping Shabbat till the sun came up this morning, and it won't end for them till Sunday morning. So Friday night, they still doing their thing. He probably ain't now. Not with the people he affiliated with now, but they not on that.
Why you over there looking ugly?
Yeah, they've been arguing that for 6 years. Because of statements that Yahushua made that they're not 12 hours in the day and things of that nature. But the people who I talk to about it, it's more so, does this line up with the gospel? Because I compared everything to the gospel. So if I know that light is symbolic of life and you saying morning to morning, so you telling me life was first, then death, then life. And that doesn't match up to the work of Yahushua. Because Adam never had immortality. So when I see darkness, I see death, and then I see light, and I see life coming from death, and I can see that on the stake. I can see that when he made it go dark while he was on the stake. I can see all of that as far as the. And some people be like this here, they be like, man, you tripping. I'm like, bro, you going by tradition, that's Jewish people. I'm like, bro, I'm going by the gospel, B. I'm not caught up in all that. I'm from. That's it. That's all I'm looking at it as. Because if I can see the gospel from light to light, why would I buck that if it lines up with his work? He said he saw rest was good. Who goes to sleep in the daytime? But nevertheless, I bless y'all out the house of y'all name of Yahushua. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. You who are willing to stand firm. We're going to go through this here, man. Make it as concise and precise as we possibly can. And you who are willing to the next time. What that nigga doing?
Yeah, well, let me
He
get
probably
five
in your
pieces.
camera.
Oh, that nigga wild, man.
Get 5 pieces of fries.